Tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Good morning, Swarm, and welcome to Tinfoil Hat. You know I am. You know what I'm here to do. You know I'm here to
Rock.
joining me as always, Xavier Guerrero, and on the ones to Jay Nice, Juicy Johnny Woodard, everybody. Bow, bow, bow. Guys, once again, we filmed this on the Wednesday, 7-year anniversary. Thank you guys so much. You know, I know that we put out last week's one.
Oh, sorry.
Whatever that was about. Thank you, guys. And thank you to everybody who came to El Monte. You were a small but mighty crowd. Thank you guys so much. If you want to see me live, the 22nd, I'm at the Rabbit Hole doing another revival, an hour of spiritual and political talk. Then January 11th, January 12th, January 13th, I'm in Cleveland. I'm in Pottstown, PA, and then I'm in Pittsburgh, PA. Grab your tickets. Xavier's at all of them. Eddie Bravo's at the first two. And then Batavia. Yes. I'll be at the Comedy Vault, one of my favorite clubs in the country. We got hats for you. These hats right here, bing, bing, pow. New t-shirts, Christmas t-shirts, new shirts going up. Come on, go down. We got so many new shirts. Yahweh, the highway's out. Tinfoil Hat Kennedy. Where's the list is out. Go down, and we got more coming. So check it out. It's a great way to support the show. And go to Rockfin, guys. Go to rockfin.com. I am putting out 3 episodes. I'm putting out 4 episodes a week on Rockfin. So get that. And then the Cash Daddies Patreon is patreon.com/Cash Daddies. Anything else, guys?
No, let's go. Woo.
Guys, this is a great episode. It is pure fire, and we're very blessed. We had, this was nothing but bang, bang, pow. We had the mighty Mike Murphy and Tim James on, so enjoy the show.
Go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind.
Let's get into it. Here we go. Very excited to have these guests on. One of them has been on the show multiple times. Good friend of mine. Sends me all these gifts, and I take his supplements, and they are great. I have some right here in my bag. Please welcome Tim James. How are you, Tim?
I'm doing good. Good to be back on again, Sam, and share with you one of my new best friends and brothers in arms as far as getting people healthy and waking them up to their true potential.
And your website is chemicalfreebody.com, correct?
Yeah.
Boom. Go check it out.
We're really focused on Mike's store because
yep, we're going to do that.
Brought up to you because he's like you just wait to hear the story. Yep. It's a barn burner.
I promise. We're going to bring him in right now. If you go to SamTripoli.com, you click the banner, you can find Tim's website and all that stuff. Also joining us, he is the man behind Mountains of Hope. Please welcome Mike Murphy. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing great, Sam. How are you today?
It's an honor and a privilege. I am doing great. My life is wonderful. It's a beautiful life. We have ups, we have downs, but I am a first responder to my problems, so I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Tim has been on the show before, Mike, so we know a lot about him. But Mike, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Okay, so 66 years old. I'm a retired automobile dealer from the San Francisco Bay Area for almost 40 years. I moved to Medellin, Colombia to create a healing center and transformation center where we do very, very profound retreats where people have we teach them how to heal themselves, that everything they need is within already to heal themselves. And really, I think the biggest things we do and what we've been witnessing a lot lately is people taking that very difficult journey, which is only about 18 inches long, from their head to their heart, and then to start opening. And so we just witnessed 23 people do that over the course of a week through our ceremonies and everything that we offer here. And that's what I'm doing now.
Well, I love it. I love it. So, what are we talking about when you say that healing comes from within? What are we talking about? I have stated this before. I'm a terrain theorist. I don't know if that involves what you're talking about, but I believe that sickness comes from within. It's about your anxiety levels, how much sleep you're getting, what you're eating, stress, all that stuff fits into whether you get sick or not. So when you say when healing comes from within, what are we talking about here?
So number one, the biggest problem in the world today is stress.
Yes.
And people, especially in America, 24/7 fight or flight. And I've been experiencing that myself lately, so I can testify to it because it's caused some heart disease in my life. So stress is numero uno because it's designed for us to go into that sympathetic nervous system when there's fear. If there's a lion or something, it's supposed to turn on and protect us, but it's supposed to be a very short period of time. We should only be in that state, a few minutes a day. But now, because there's so much stress in the world, economically, financially, all the drama going on in the world, and our poor nutrition, our poor sleep, our toxicity, that we're in that fight or flight 24/7. So what we teach here is Mountain of Soaps is how to get rid of that. We have a number of really cool protocols that we present. Also, a lot of meditation, because the greatest pharmacy in the world is located in our head, in our pituitary gland, and thoughts create chemicals to flow into the body. Good thoughts, good chemicals. Bad thoughts, bad chemicals like adrenaline and cortisol. And so we're always stressed. The other thing that's very important that we do here at Mountains of Hope through colonics and massage and infrared saunas and cold water plunges and stuff like that is begin to detoxify the body. It's full of heavy metals, parasites, candida, bad bacteria. So we teach people how to get that out. So as we detox the body, the immune system gets stronger. Now we introduce really good nutrition like fresh green juice that we serve every day. We grow over 50 vegetables here in pristine soil with no chemicals. So we're giving you great nutrition. We're getting all the garbage out of your body. We're teaching you how to get the stress down and get into a state of peace and joy and move from your head where only fear lives. In the head, you're dead. Move into that beautiful heart, which is love, and then start to open it again. So that's really the Mountains of Hope experience.
I love everything you're saying. I get really upset when I see people on social media posting like, here's a beach picture from 1952 and here's today, and it's like in 1952 everyone's built like Superman, and then today everyone's just sloppy. And I go, well, there's a lot going on there. It's not just like, oh my God, look at how lazy people have come, because that's what people are inferring, that people become really lazy. And I completely disagree with that. What I think is happening is that people, through this kind of pressure from above, pressure from below, this elites kind of just this war on humanity that they've done. I'm in particular the U.S. citizen. Because we are the whole game that they play, which is our tax dollars go to do this, which isn't true at all. Our tax dollars go off to pay the interest on the loan money that the Fed just prints out of nowhere, right? So that's the actual story. But they want us so dumb and stupid that we don't know what's going on. But they also want us fat and unhealthy because they make all this money off the internet. So our food is poisoned. Everything we drink is poisoned. What we're consuming with our friend, what we're consuming with our eyes and our ears is poison. I had a friend of mine, Tara Patrick, well-known adult film star from way back in the day, and kind of got she's back when that, she was one of the, anyways, the point is she moved at one point to Europe, and she had her daughter, and she moved her daughter to Europe. And I saw her on Twitter talking about how happy she was that she did that because her daughter is 8 years old, knows 3 languages now, reads at a level that way beyond all of her friends who have kids at the same age do in America, and that's done on purpose. When you see Oregon going, hey, we're going to get rid of reading and math because we think it's like disrespectful to ethnic people. You know, I mean, that's done on purpose. So you cannot participate in your government, which is using the Federal Reserve of the United States to fund the military industrial complex and use our army as stormtroopers. So to go and kick in the doors of third world countries to steal their resources. They don't want you to participate in that. So the notion that those people on that beach today are fat because they're lazy, it really upsets me. They're fat because they have to work 1,000 jobs now to make the same amount of money that their parents did with one job. Their dad worked one job and was able to take care of everybody. Now both parents have to work multiple jobs, and they just have to eat quick because that's all the time they have, and they eat junk because that's all that's available.
There's no doubt about that. In fact, 91% of Americans right now are being treated for something. And a baby born in America today has over 200 chemicals in the umbilical cord, cancer-causing chemicals in the umbilical cord. So unfortunately, we've been destroyed from the inside out. And they've done it through fluoride dumbing us down. They're doing it with all this BS on TV. You know, Obama signed an executive order making it legal for the media outlets to propagandize us. And they can lie to us, no harm, no foul. And if you don't believe me, for 30 days, watch Rachel Maddow and Sean Hannity same night. Same story, two different narratives. So somebody's lying, and I suggest that both are lying, and they both have an agenda, and it doesn't serve the American citizen. The American citizen is being lied to, and also, more importantly, taught to hate others. And the divide and conquer technique that they use is why they're taking over and why we're losing our freedom and why the food is so poisoned. Who's objecting? Who's objecting to the stuff they spray out of these planes? Who's objecting to all this glyphosate that is illegal in almost every country in the world? Okay. You know, you bring up going to Europe. I have so many people, they say, Mike, I went to Europe. I ate the exact same food I eat in the United States, and I lost weight. Or people from Europe will go to the United States and say, I eat the exact same food in America and I gained 15 pounds in 10 days. So it's the food, and the food is highly addicted. An interesting fact, when big tobacco was getting a lot of heat in the 80s, because it was being proven that the chemicals they put in those cigarettes were addictive and causing people to die of lung cancer, they knew they were in trouble. So they bought big food. They bought Kraft. They bought, I think, General Mills and one other one. And so then they learned to make the food so addictive. And that's why all those fat people are on the beach, okay? One, they're super stressed. Like you said, they have to work many jobs just to pay the friggin' mortgage or the rent. But more importantly, they're addicted to food that gets them ill. And now they're into AMA and big pharma, which, by the way, is the minimum the third leading cause of death in America. They say heart disease is number one. 1 out of 2 will get heart disease. It used to be 1 out of 3 will get cancer. Now it's 1 out of 2. And the third leading cause of death is death by doctor or by medicine. Yeah. So we got to wake up.
Yeah, AKA iatrogenics, another word for death by doctor. And that interesting thing, what Mike brought up, is that the big tobacco actually has a business model of addiction. And they took the exact same model and they put it right into the food industry. It was no different. It was the same. I think it was like the 5 A's. Has to be affordable, has to be accessible, has to be addictive. I mean, there's this. They have a 5A model that they put in there, and that's what happened in our food supply.
Damn.
They put those pyrazines in tobacco to get tobacco to be addictive, because nicotine is not addictive at all. And for those hearing that for the first time, it's hard to figure it out, but go do the research. There's a 2016 study done by Harvard where some people got together and said, let's just study how addictive nicotine is and find out why. And at the end of that study, they're like, it's not addictive at all. What is going on? They reached out to big tobacco. They wouldn't give them anything. They had to go get a FOIA request, go through the judicial system, got all their paperwork and looked, and they found that big tobacco had put together all these chemists, and they said, we want you to come up with the most addictive substances possible we could put into this product. And they came out with, they agreed on pyrazines. And go look this up, pyrazines. They put it in the tobacco and the paper, and they put sugar in the tobacco and chemicals. Now there's like 600 chemicals in cigarettes. So it's not the nicotine that's addictive. it's the pyrazines, and now they're pushing to get tobacco removed because nicotine. God put an extremely abundant amount of nicotine receptors on your skin cells, and your body's full of skin. Your skin, your insides, everything's a skin cell. So why would God put millions of skin and nicotine receptors in your body if your body wasn't supposed to get nicotine? And a lot of people don't realize that nicotine doesn't come just from tobacco. It comes from things like the eggplant. High source of nicotine. Cauliflower. Cauliflower, that's got nicotine. White potatoes, nicotine. They're in there. And we just don't know this. But a year ago, somebody said nicotine because I was looking for long haul COVID solutions. I reached out to my contact at the Sophia Institute, Dr. Klinghardt, and she said, yeah, we're using this, NAC, EDTA, and nicotine. And I was like, what? Nicotine? And then I was like, okay. And then later on, I was at the Hippocrates Institute, and the sales manager's like, yeah, Tim, nicotine's a great nootropic. I only take it a couple times a month, though, because I don't want to get addictive. You should try it. And he gave me a couple, and I was like, I don't want to get addicted. But I took one, and oh my God, it was an amazing nootropic. It was unbelievable. And I never took it again.
Nootropic is what? What's a nootropic do?
Brain enhancement, mental clarity, mental focus, that kind of stuff. It's they call nootropic.
Is that all like the zinc? Because Tucker Carlson and everybody be taking these little zinc pouches, but the reason I don't is because they're like addicting. So I'm trying to not be addicted to stuff.
So nicotine's not addictive at all. It was the pyrazines that were put into the tobaccos that made people addicted.
Yes,
we have millions and millions of these nicotine receptors. I don't even know how many, but it's a lot. It's one of the most. Just like you remember when hemp and CBDs first came out, and everybody learned about endocannabinoid receptors in the body and how like God put that there, and these endocannabinoids from the hemp plant actually work for anxiety, and they work for rebuilding neurons and stuff like that from when people are taking like hydrocodone and all this stuff, and they mess themselves up for pain, and then people started getting off of these pain drugs, right? And so we have all these nicotine receptors. Nicotine is actually a good thing, and anybody listening, what ends up happening is that for COVID long haul, if you take a 7 milligram nicotine patch and put it on your arm 6 days in a row, all of your COVID long haul symptoms will be gone. We've seen the loss of taste, the loss of smell, the tinnitus in the ears, the headaches, the brain fog. Because what's happened is that the synthetic snake venoms that were put we believe into the water supply, possibly aerolized into the
100%
in the air, those snake, even if you get bit by a snake, those venoms attach to nicotine receptors in the body. So if you have a synthetic nicotine receptor synthetic snake venom attached to your nicotine receptor, but then you take nicotine's polar bond is 30 times as powerful. So it comes in, it dislodges the snake venom, and it gets washed out your body and detox, and your problems go away. Just like if you were to go out in nature and get bit by a snake, and then your friend sucks the venom out of your leg, they're going to lose their smell and their taste for 6 months to 2 years. It's the same as long haul COVID symptoms. All the spike proteins that were tested are showing up as the Chinese crate and the king cobra venom. They never show a picture of the virus, and they have all these fancy electron microscopes. Where's the virus? They never prove it. It's not. That's what it is.
Dude, this is it, man.
The Black Mamba. Remember when that happened too?
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is again, I'm a terrain theorist. And people think I'm a crazy person, and I get it, but it's like, it's so funny because, I have all these people on that talk about, terrain theory. They never isolated viruses. And then I'll be like, yeah, they never isolated a virus. And then they'll Google something like, and the headline just says, they isolated a virus. Shut up. And that's all that's all the title of the article will say. And then they just believe the article. And it's just like people have no clue, like the level of deceit that's going on with this black magic pharmaceutical companies. And when you find out the guy that lied to everybody about viruses on his deathbed is like, yeah, I was wrong about that. And he just went out on that. He just was basically admitted he was BSing and that terrain theory was correct. And people can't come to grips with that. They just can't come to grips with it. I tell people, it's like, it's like it's kicking off. It's it's just this thing about when women's cycles hook up. And for me, and maybe I'm wrong, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, is like when you hear them talk about vaccine shedding, that to me is proof that train theory is real.
Yeah.
And by the way, Sam, the reason that people don't get it when you try to wake them up is because the education system in America, we are not taught to think.
Yes.
We are to memorize, regurgitate, and forget. And the best memorizer and the best regurgitator gets the best grades. Okay, but it's all no one teaches anybody how to use this to figure stuff out. And that's what's for as a 66-year-old, I left school in the 8th grade. I realized it was all BS. And when you live on the streets, you learn to critically think 24/7. And as a result, I get so frustrated today with these people trying to lead them, manage them, motivate them, inspire them. It's like lights are on, but nobody's home. And there's a million ways they did this. The education system, the fluoride that calcifies the pineal gland in the water, that's in everything, actually, and all the other toxicity in our body. Heck, man, it's hard to think when you're full of toxicity. You're just trying to get to the next minute to do whatever you're trying to do. And everybody has brain fog because the gut's been ruined because of the glyphosate, and the whole country is a mess. And if we don't wake up pretty soon, because when America goes, guess what? The rest of the world's in bigger trouble than it is now. And if we don't wake up and do something,
I agree.
But what is there to do though?
Hold on, real quick. Yeah. Okay, hold that thought. Hey guys, let me tell you about our boy at Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Guys, listen, we've seen so many people making ridiculous money from crypto. But did you know you could do the same? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy them. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest, as you simply do what he does. So let me tell you more about James. He runs Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship has over 26,000 subscribers. Since March 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 in each of those coins, it went up to be worth $123,000. Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, a coin called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said. That one call alone retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copied James, then stop what you're doing and head right over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. You'll not only find proof of everything I said, but my listeners get full access for just $1. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. The recession is here, guys. You can suffer like everyone else or choose to thrive. James is the real deal. Go visit the site now. I wanted to go back to something you were talking to about the nicotine. That was something I wanted to address, because what you're seeing happen right now with marijuana, they're doing the exact same thing to marijuana. That everyone is everyone's like, I go, whenever you see something suddenly everywhere, just know that doesn't just happen naturally. This isn't a grassroots movement. When you see every other building in Los Angeles is a weed depository or whatever it is, a depository. What's it called?
Dispensary.
Yeah. Dispensary. There we go. Sorry, depository.
Depository is the thing you put in your butt.
Yeah, right. I knew that halfway. Is it a dispensary?
You can
leave that in. I will eat that. Put that in a t-shirt.
There is a way to
Sam,
take cannabis like that, by the way.
In your butt.
Yeah, there is.
You can,
Okay.
you can
With a
take
suppository, really?
No.
Yeah. They've been given away at Sam shows.
I'll eat that. Go out 2023 sounding like an idiot. I'll go with it. I'll own it.
That's
But
for people with hemorrhoids. It makes your ass numb. And you can't feel
thank
it.
you. So yeah, you give your butt the munchies. You know what I'm saying? So so the whole point.
We're in the wrong town for that. I tell you.
But the when every other store is a weed shop, there like that should be just a giant alarm to people, a red flag. Like that doesn't happen just naturally. So now you got everybody smoking this weed, and I'm telling you, man, I noticed this with a lot of my friends a couple of years ago. How they were like, one second they were laughing, next second they were screaming at people. They were just like on a dime, dude. On a dime. And I knew that these people were like this. So how I approach them with things, I would have to literally like make them think they came up with the idea. I couldn't approach them and ask them about something because they would just freak out on me. So I had to like slowly play this game with them because they ate so much weed or smoked so much weed.
So I was about to say, do you think it, because they say there's a small percentage that will smoke weed and become a schizo.
Dude,
did they say it? Do you think that's bigger because
way
more people are
bigger, dude?
Because more people are smoking, or do you think it triggers very smaller?
No, I think the weed that people are smoking is not the weed that their grandpa smoked, and they think it, and it's not, dude. It's got so many chemicals in it. Like, dude, I'm in recovery, man. I would see people now come in for weed, and like they talk about like like they're getting schizophrenic, beyond paranoid. Like, like you're seeing, like, I'm not lying to you when I tell you, like, there's people who come in on weed that talk about having the same effects as crystal meth.
Okay, so to be like for a guy that smokes weed.
Oh yeah, you're gonna represent them.
I have to represent them. So the guys that you have at your shop, the guys that do ABX, they're known to not have pesticides, no chemicals. It's straight supposed to be organic. So yeah, you do. If you don't pay for top notch, you are buying pesticides. Who the fuck knows what chemicals? Whatever kills ride, or what do they use for fucking Monsanto that uses to kill all that stuff? That is in the cheap weed. Yep. So you are right. If you're buying that cheap weed that's not supposed to be good for you, that is. If you do the ABX people, I guarantee you, they're known.
But even like some of the stuff in these shops are such Frankenstein weed.
Oh yeah,
that it's just so powerful that it's no longer just like smoke a little doobie.
Yeah, remember when they shit all over that guy who went on celebrity rehab for weed?
Yeah,
remember?
Like, oh, you loser. Yeah. It's like, oh man, come on, man.
And that was
weed.
What, like 15 years ago, and now it's I think people
just
get
see
it.
People coming in all the time, just zombified or like super tweaky paranoid just from weed.
And the interesting thing, especially in that California weed, it's 43. It goes up to as high as 43% THC, and is soaked with hash. Okay, so and why now? Why did they make this so popular and legal? Why are they legalizing it right now? At this time when humanity, the world is kind of chaotic, and so I wonder that all the time. And it's one of these things that we have to be very careful with. I'm not anti-weed, but I'm anti-chemicals, and especially the vaping of weeds is one of the worst things you can do. So, but interesting thing back to the nicotine is we do these amazing ceremonies led by this indigenous people down here in Colombia. And one of the ceremonies we do is a fire ceremony, which is about 3 hours. But part of the ceremony is we use a plant medicine called rapé, which is basically tobacco with a few other plants. And then the shaman blows it up our noses. And it's such a profound effect. And so we just did this with 23 people, half of which were doctors here. And it was mind-blowing to see the transformation. Just this one little simple medicine, and then engulfed in this 3-hour open your heart fire ceremony. And these are the things we do here at Mountains of Hope that are unique to any place in the world. And this is part of the transformational process that people experience here. And back to the healing, this is part of the healing process where they learn how to heal themselves, because the power is all within. It's interesting, we have these two eyes always looking out, but when we go within, right here, I believe, is a little part of our creator.
I agree.
And we've lost that connection. We because we've been hurt so much, and we start contracting. We start closing our heart. When you close your heart, which is your real essence, who you really are, we flee to the mind. And in the head, you're dead. From here, I can cheat you. I can manipulate you. I can brainwash you. I can steal you. From here, I can't do any of that because this is my soul. This is my essence. So that's really one of the things we do here at Mountains of Hope is inspire and encourage and do ceremonies and protocols that help people accomplish
Yeah,
that.
let's get into that. And then, okay, Tim, and then let's get into it.
Check this out, Sam. So we just had that rapé ceremony, right? And we had this gal come over from our marketing team from London, and she was just getting in between people, getting little shots, right, with her camera for the Instagram and the TikToks and all that stuff. And she's gathering photos and all this little videos and stuff like that for the ceremony. And right when she was in between these two ladies, we were passing around a piece of tobacco, and you're supposed to say your name and then say what your spiritual path is. And she's like, they handed it to her, and she's like,
she didn't want to talk.
No, she's like, she's like, no, I'm working, I'm doing social media, and everybody was like, no, go ahead. And she just found herself in the ceremony by chance, and so she's like, well, and she goes, my name is this, and then her lips started quivering, her whole body started shaking, she tensed up, and she literally couldn't talk, and I was thinking, whoa, she's holding on to some deep shit. And then she's like, no, I can't do it. And then everybody's like, no. And they were all pushing her and nudging her, right? And then she goes, I've had some severe childhood trauma. And then she hands the mic away. And I was like, holy shit, her heart just cracked open. Like, that's the beginning of the journey of healing right there. And I thought the way she was acting, there's no way she was going to do the actual replay. She comes back later. She's the last one. She goes, I'm going to do it. The shaman comes over, blows the nicotine stuff, plants up her nose. She starts bawling and crying and shaking, and all this shit comes out. And about 15, 20 minutes later, she's got a smile on her face. Dude, literally different person.
Wow.
Like different person, completely different. I said, what happened? She goes, I just released a lot of hate. Because I released so much hate. And I go, what were you hating on? And she said, I was hating my parents.
Oh, man.
I've been hating my parents. She's probably in her early 20s. And I go, what do you hate your parents about? She goes, my father committed suicide when I was 9 years old and left me. And then when I was 20, my mother committed suicide and left me. And it's all gone. I've forgiven them in this moment. And
wow.
I'm getting curious just thinking about it.
Sam,
That's crazy.
That was
incredible.
That was day one of the retreat.
Wow.
Day one. You should have seen this woman at the end of the retreat after another 4 or 5 powerful ceremonies, more powerful than that one, and all the nutrition and all the toxicity starting to be removed from her body. And we've done this now twice, and the miracles that we see of transformation and healing. I mean, just you guys go to our
Instagram
and our reviews, our
TikTok,
Instagram, our stuff. This works, and the world needs this right now. We all got to get in touch back of who we really are, because, I wrote a book called The Creation Frequency. And it's the most unique way to use the law of attraction and manifestation.
I want to get into that. I don't want to jump because we got a little time here. So I want to get into that. I'm not trying to
no problem.
I just want to go through this whole process. And so I know you've discussed a little bit of it already, but I really want to get into, take me actually through the Mount of your holistic approach at the Mountain of Hope. How do you harness mind, body, proper nutrition, all that stuff? What do you guys do down there? What's your approach?
Would it be okay if I tell you real briefly why I created this place?
Yes, yeah. Take your time. We're in no hurry.
Very important.
In 2002, my 29-year-old girlfriend at the time was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and I was the one that found the golf ball-sized tumor in her breast. And we started treatment. Well, we were just dumb people, the regular, normal people. She was 27, I was 43, and we just started doing the chemotherapy and all that stuff, because that's what you do. And so she fought this illness for 9 years. We got married halfway through in 2006. She passed away in 2011. And Plato taught that we're one soul cut in half, and we spend many lifetimes looking for the other half. And that's who this person was to me. When we found each other, it was very, very difficult to uncouple the relationships that we're in and come together. But there was no stopping it. We actually worked together for 7 months and became friends while we fell mad in love because we were twin flames. We knew it instantly when we first met, but it wasn't possible for us to get together. We eventually do. So when she passes, I am devastated beyond anything you could ever imagine. For the first time in my life, I was defenseless, and it was as if God could come in and fillet open my heart, take out all the arrogance, the self-centeredness, the BS, and replace it with love. So here I was, this broken-hearted guy, okay, split wide open, and my feet were nowhere near the ground. And a friend calls me immediately after my wife dies, within weeks, and says, hey, man, can you help out my sister-in-law? She's moving here from Wyoming to the Bay Area because she has stage 4 breast cancer. Her name is Amanda. She's 38 and she has 3 children. Can you help her? I said, sure. So I took her to my late wife's oncologist and he ordered tests. So I went with Amanda for about 4 or 5 doctor's appointments. Now, Amanda was African-American, didn't have a husband, didn't have good insurance, didn't have any extra resources, maybe not the same personality as my wife, but she was treated so much differently than us that it just blew me away. But I didn't say nothing. I noticed, I observed, but I kept silent. Then we get back to my late wife's oncologist. He says, Amanda, the best protocol to extend your life are 3 chemotherapies simultaneously. Unfortunately, your insurance will only pay for 1, and that's all that I can give you. I'll be honest, I was blown away, flabbergasted. I didn't know that's how the way the world worked. I said, here, dude, here's my credit card. You give her whatever it is that she needs. That was the seed that later became the Love for Margot Foundation. And for 4 or 5 years in the San Francisco Bay Area, I would provide financial grants to women below the poverty line that were battling cancer.
Oh,
and I would give them $1,000 a month for 5 months. Why? Because they don't have money to begin with. Now they can't work. Now their expenses are gone up and they're screwed and there's no safety net. I could tell you stories that would blow your mind. I did that for 4 or 5 years. And guess what? They work 10% of the time. 90% of the time they get sicker, die, or just sicker. It was an unending thing. And it was a bad, and I went through about $1.5 million. So I go, okay, now what? So I water purifiers, juicing machines, vegetables. Okay, let's strengthen your immune system as to offset the damage that they're doing to it. Well, after a year of that, now they think I'm their doctor. I go, okay, I'm a car salesman. This isn't sustainable. So that's why I build Mountains of Hope. And so I've seen the damage, treatment of disease. Okay, I've seen the damage that it does in real time. 9 years with my wife, over 200 women through my foundation. And that's why I built this place, because I want to charge people with money to come here and learn how to heal and transform. And then we take that profit and we provide these retreats for these women below the poverty line. They're battling cancer. Bam. So they can come here. And our other mission now, our other pro bono retreat is for these military guys that served in Iraq and Afghanistan. 25 a day are committing suicide because they're full of toxicity, physical from the vaccinations, the radiation, but the mind has been destroyed and they couldn't find their heart with both hands. They're in so much pain that they're killing themselves. So we want to do retreats for them. Bring them here and teach them. Now, we'll do different stuff for them, right? Because we got to heal that PTSD. So now we bring in other plant medicines and other things to expand their consciousness and realize that that's kind of an illusion. That suffering is really an illusion. And there's a whole nother consciousness that you can tap into there and begin to heal. So that's why we created it. And our whole thing is get the toxicity out, put in good nutrition, teach them how to get rid of stress, and inspire them to keep doing it.
I want so badly to help everybody that has cancer. Like, I see friends of mine that are getting it. I'm trying so hard to get them to look into alternative methods. That's, the machine, the people who own all the chemicals that give you cancer also own all the procedures to save you from cancer. I don't understand why you would do that. You know,
hospitals, and they feed you. Have you seen what they feed people that go into hospitals? The same thing they gave them, the whatever they're in there for.
Yeah, everyone's view.
Chemicals put you in the hospital, then they feed you more chemicals. They treat you with chemicals unless your insurance runs out, and then they won't help you anymore.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me because, I hear, again, going back to my friend who goes to Europe and her daughter speaks 3 languages and all that stuff. And everybody just thinks that it's impossible for that to happen to America. And it is not. It is not impossible. It's just, it's just like the truth of the matter is like we are so propagandized here into like, and it's like people aren't getting dumber. I hate to tell everybody, they're not getting dumber. Everybody's the same intelligence. It's just, what is the information that you are digesting? Is it useful information or is it wasteful information? And what they've done to America again is just drowned us in useless information. So we aren't smart enough to understand how our government works, how our healthcare system works, how our law enforcement system works, how our taxes work, all that stuff. They don't want you to be smart enough to understand. And like, again, it's not that they're dumber. I'm sorry. I'll battle anybody on this. It's just like we all have the same mindset. We all have the same brains. Obviously, chemicals are coming in, changing stuff. But like, if you know who Kim Kardashian's with and you don't necessarily know how your government works, that's what they want. That's what they want. They're bombarding you with dumb. That's what they want. And no one can do that. So when you go to someone going, hey man, I had a friend of mine who like he survived cancer and he didn't go through chemo. He went through all the vegetables and fruits and all the proper eating and he cancer free. You try to tell people to do that? Like, I just heard this story of this actress. I'm not going to say her name, but she was on a very popular show. She just found out she has lung cancer, and she's never, ever smoked a cigarette in her life. And I guarantee you, if you go back, she took the Jacks. Yep. I guarantee it. I guarantee you she took the Jacks because she wanted to work in Hollywood, and they forced her to do that. And it's gotten into this thing right now where it's like, I don't know how many people have to die before people wake up, but it's like things we've talked about in this podcast that someone turned into a pretty cool song.
Better get pretty busy with nicotine, EDTA, NAC, and water fasting. That's what she needs to get busy on.
I would love to do. I would love to. I mean, I would love to sit there going, this is what you have to do to beat this thing. This is what you have to do. Will she listen to me? I don't know. I mean, my own family took the vaccine, and I wish people I love. There's like my mother. There's maybe one or two people on planet Earth I love more than my mom, and those are my kids.
For you guys would know. We always get questions. Is there anything you could do if you already took the vax? Any chemicals?
Yeah. There are. There's people
is there?
Who can get rid. We've had people on the show that were like, we can get rid of all the metals in you. And I forgot who we had. They pushed back on it really hard. They're like, I don't need to do that. Oh, yeah. Okay. That was something else. That was a group meeting where a friend of ours got it.
Everybody in the world, and especially America, because they never address it, is full of parasites. I mean, really, I could show you one drop of blood. We do live blood cell analysis here. We prick your finger and we put your blood under a dark field microscope. I did the other day, about 4 months ago, when I wasn't feeling good. One drop of blood, 6 parasites. And I don't even eat much sushi. Sushi has 10,000 larvae.
Oh, my. Okay. Dude, can I tell you something? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off right there. Finish your thought, then I want to
Okay, I just want to add one more thing to that because you brought it up. The parasites hide in the metals. So the cells that are trying to eliminate the parasites can't find them because they're coated with mercury or silver or whatever. Okay. So I had heart disease. My ejection fraction, which measures the blood being pumped back into the body, once it goes through, it comes back into the heart, pumped out. Your ejection fraction right now is 60, which is normal. Mine was 25. Okay. Live blood cell analysis, I have parasites. I did a heavy metal test. I'm loaded with mercury. Okay, not the kind from eating fish, the kind from your teeth, but I had it removed 10 years ago. Nobody knows where it came from, including me. Long story short, I do a mercury detox for about 7 weeks, and I do a parasite cleanse for about 4 weeks. Another hard MRI, ejection fraction back up to 60. Okay. We are toxic. And I promise you, everybody listen to me right now. You're full of parasites. Parasites have killed more people in the world than all the wars combined. And you got to start addressing this and get them out. That's what we teach here. You know, in South America, they take parasites a little more seriously. And North America, they don't even talk about it. But the truth is, there's more in North America because of all the sushi we eat than there are here. But we need to clean our body, especially the parasites. We just had a dozen of the world's most profound medical doctors here, and they all concur with what I just said.
I was at the Comedy Store doing a charity event for the Armenian Bone Marrow Donor Registry, and this famous female athlete was back in the green room, and we were talking about, like, you know, I'd love to eat sushi every day if I could, but you know, the mercury. And she goes, "Oh my God, like I forget the number she said was like you were supposed to have like this kind of level of sushi and mercury. She was like at 155, like the number's like 0.05%. She's at 155. Like, she was so high, and I'm like, how are you still alive? But it's like, that's in it. And it's just like, people don't understand this is a spiritual war.
Amen.
This is being done because the people at the top worship dark fallen angel entities. And this is, they are parasitic. They are energy vampires that feed on this. So why do we discuss all this stuff? Why do we talk about all this stuff? Well, you know, it's like we talked about in the last couple episodes. It's like, the reason you want to know about all this stuff is because you won't fall for their tricks. You won't get, your anxiety won't shoot up when a false flag event happens, because that's how they feed off that. And then every false flag event you've ever seen in your life, 9/11, school shootings, all those are manifestation events to manifest you begging them to come save you. Pressure from above, pressure from below. It's the Communist Manifesto on how to make change. That's what they're doing right now. They want martial law, okay? That's what they're looking for. They want you to beg them to come save you. That's what they're looking to do.
Hey, Sam, on that topic, and I haven't watched the documentary yet, but I heard someone talking about it last night. Obama just produced a documentary. About Civil War. So the predictive programming. So I guarantee you something is coming before the November election, and people better get ready. And that's why we're doing this mountain. So we got to get strong physically. We got to get strong mentally. We got to get strong emotionally and spiritually, because whatever's coming, if you think the last few years were bad, you ain't seen nothing yet. We got debt coming out of our eyes, the economic collapse. They're going to throw another pandemic at us. They're talking about this Marburg virus coming out of China. God knows what the civil war in the U.S. Something's going to break, and I think it breaks next year.
So I want to know about this this parasite. What's it called? Parasite formula that you have right now. What is that?
Yeah. So Dr. Treadway, our formulator before, I don't know if you knew this, Sam, but you know, he passed away. He was my formulator for years, helped me start our whole chemical-free body supplement line. And he was a former Marine, trained in Ayurvedic medicine, Chinese medicine, and Western herbology and all that stuff. And one of his last formulas, because when I would work with people and detox their gut and do all this stuff, there was still that 10, 15% that were always struggling with stuff. And it was usually yeast, fungus, mold, and especially parasites. So parasites actually take these heavy metals from the mercury that you get from fish and iron pipes and metals and stuff like that. Fillings, that mercury fillings and stuff like this. And they use them as a shield. They put them in their biofilm to protect them, and then the immune system can't recognize them. So they're tough. So he built our parasite-free formula. See, I've done lots of parasite stuff on myself. I personally don't like the alcohol tinctures just because I try to stay away from alcohol completely, and I think it denatures at some level. On other scenarios, it can extract some stuff out of like roots and stuff like that. But we actually, and they're very complicated and expensive. You know, $400, $600, $800. How much did you pay for yours? It was like
$50 for the parasite cleanse for the other. I don't recall now. But $700, I think.
Yeah, $700. So we have a. He made this formula. It's very powerful, and we used a special process to be able to get multiple different herbs in it at high concentrations so that it was very effective. And we flavored it with a chocolate flavor. And so it doesn't taste like ass, like most of these things. And most of them are so terrible tasting. So it actually tastes fairly good. And you just squirt it in your mouth morning and night. And it starts destroying the adults, the larvae, and the eggs. And it's good to do 1 to 3 months out of the gate, depending on how lower your immune system is. If you have pets, you might want to take it monthly or every other month. If you don't have pets, then maybe every 2-3 months you'd want to take it, or especially if you go to foreign countries like the United States, where you get stressed and your immune system drops even more. But it makes it easy, and it's under $90.
Wow. I mean, I got to do all this stuff. I'm ready to just totally dive into this and try to.
We'll
Sam,
send you.
Sam,
We'll send you.
You can just come down here for a week.
I would love to. I would love to get one of my kids into this. I mean, they're only 3 years old, but I feel like she needs some.
I tried to get him to come down for the influencer event, but he's too busy.
Come on, Sam.
I know. I gotta come down.
So can you let everybody know where it's at, so everybody knows specifically?
All you got, it's a 3-hour flight from Miami, Medellin, Colombia. We meet you at the airport the moment you come out of customs, and it's a 15-minute drive to Mountains of Hope. We are in the most beautiful part of Colombia, the safest, most beautiful everything. The former president lives 2 miles from us, rides his horse on his property all the time. So it's Medellin, Colombia, 3-hour flight from Miami.
I'll come. I gotta come. We should all go out there, huh? Johnny, would you go?
Hey! Actually, you know what? If you guys want to, we're hosting an ayahuasca ceremony week in April. Or you can come out for the signature retreat and then do that. You could.
But Sam's
I don't know if XC can leave the country that he's illegally in right now. So I don't know if he can.
Stay here. Let's stay here. Can you guys bring me the drugs here?
Plant medicine.
Yeah,
plant medicine. XG.
Plant medicine.
Come on.
Yeah, man, my bad.
We're not junkies here, bro. So let's get into this the creation frequency. I know you brought that up earlier. I kind of want to get into this. What is the creation frequency?
So it's a book I wrote about an experience I had in 1982. I mentioned earlier I left school in 8th grade. I became a habitual runaway juvenile delinquent, arrested half a dozen times, up to 18. 8 automobile accidents, all alcohol related. I walk out on my wife and my 2-month-old child at age 23. 2 years later, I find myself in a 12-step program. I can't stay off the drugs. I can't stay off the alcohol. I'm miserable. I'm emotionally spent. I'm suffering. And a friend in the 12-step program says, dude, I've never seen anybody screwed up as you, but I may know somebody that can help you. So he introduces to this guy, and in my first book, Love Unfiltered, I called him the Mystery Man because I couldn't remember his name. I wrote that book in 2014. This happened in 1982. Anyways, long story short, I went to this man's house, and he says, Mike, you come here 1 hour a week for 7 weeks. I promise you'll get everything you want in your life. Dude, I mean, I'm in a $100 car. I can't even shut the door. I have to roll the window down in the winter in Northern California and keep the door shut. It's just crazy, right? I show up to this man's house and he says, listen, it's $50 a week. And I go, I didn't have 50 cents, but I wrote him a bad check. That's how we started our relationship. And he said, Mike, listen very carefully. There's no difference between imagination and reality. Number one. Number two, you have to create a balanced life. So we're going to break your life into 6 areas. You got work, you got relationships, you got personal development, you got contribution, things like this, right? He goes, so let's get started today. What do you want most? I want to reunite with my wife, who I'm divorced for 2 years, and my 2-year-old daughter, and the ex-wife hates my guts. Okay, let's write it as if it already exists. He gives me a white piece of paper and a pen. I start writing. Lisa and I are so happily married. He's coaching me. Our daughter, Michelle, thrives in this marriage. Now, remember, this woman hates my guts. I walked out on her. I abandoned her. But as I'm writing, I feel strange, but all of a sudden I got a little just glimpse of hope. So I kept going. Next week, what do you want, Mike? I want to make $10,000 a month. I've never made more than $2,000. Next week, what do you want, Mike? I want to own my own business. What do you want, Mike? I want to own my own house. What do you want, Mike? I want to run a marathon. What do you want, Mike? And this week it has to be contribution. Well, my dad was a troubled youth. I'm a troubled youth. Let's create a boys' home. But now, trust me, I'm like 24 years old. I got no money. I got no credit but bad credit. And in 4 months, I own my own restaurant. 2 years after this, listen, no, let me give you the magic formula. I apologize. On week 7, now I have 6 intentions. Week 7, 1982, he brings out a boom box. For you youngsters listening there, that's what we used to. Okay? He puts in a cassette tape with theta brainwave music on it. Then he hands me a microphone attached to a tape recorder. He puts in a blank cassette tape. He says, okay, Mike, what I want you to do right now is I'm going to give you this relaxation script. It's a 2-page relaxation script. Very simple. Tighten your muscles or release your muscles. You go through your whole body while I'm listening to the theta brainwave music, right? And then record those 6 intentions in your own voice. So I leave 7 weeks later, $350 poorer with a cassette tape embedded with theta brainwave music, a relaxation script, and 6 intentions as if they already exist today. And he says, Mike, you listen every morning right when you wake up because you're coming out of delta and you're into theta. Theta is the best time to manifest. And then you go into alpha and beta. But listen in theta. And each night before you go to bed, you're going beta, alpha, theta. Listen, go to sleep. It's mind-blowing how this works. Now I understand. I didn't know nothing back then, okay? What I know now is he was putting me to a self-hypnotic trance, which we're in from birth to age 8. We're in theta brainwave state. We're a sponge. We learn by listening to mommy and daddy, watching mommy and daddy, watching our teachers, watching our siblings, watching all that stuff. That's how we're programmed. So if you're born into a shitty life, you're programmed for a shitty life. Yeah. If you're programmed into a beautiful life, you're programmed for a beautiful life. Now, can things still get messed up? Yes. But most cases, how you're programmed is how you're going to live your life until you wake up like I did and realize that I got all this shitty programming. Now, I can show you a picture of me at 7 months old, sitting on mommy's daddy's couch, cigarette hanging out of my mouth, a bottle of beer between my little 7-month-old legs, and my mother's caption, learning young, just like mommy and daddy. So I was programmed for all this shit. And then I started to wake up. And then this man taught me how the law of attraction works, how manifestation, and it's the power of sound. You know, in the Bible, it says that God spoke, let there be light. Sound energy. And we do a lot of sound healing down here at Mountains of Hope.
I love that.
Chakra clearing, okay? We unwire these neural pathways that you're so stuck and you don't even know what you're doing because it's all coming from your subconscious. You don't even know it. I'll give you one final example and then I'll shut up.
No, it's great. You don't have to shut up.
Right now, your subconscious mind, my subconscious mind, Tim's, is taking in 1 million bits of information, data every second.
That's what I'm saying.
1 million. Then it delivers 40 bits of data to our conscious mind, our wake mind. And how does it choose 40 bits out of 1 million? Based on what we tell it we want. Yes. And so what man was doing to Mike, you're telling your subconscious what you want. That's number 1. Number 2, I've now since learned, I love the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I love the work of the field of infinite possibilities, which I learned about from Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra many, many decades ago. But here's the deal. Thoughts are electrical energy. And they go into the field of infinite possibilities where they meet like-minded thoughts, like-minded ideas.
Bro, I agree.
And then we live in an electromagnetic universe. The heart is the magnet. It's 5,000 times more powerful than this. So the thought goes into the field of infinite possibilities as electrical, comes back as magnetism, and boom, Tim shows up in my life to help me run this thing. Okay, my wife calls me after 2 years, asks me out for a date at a Christmas party. We get remarried, have 3 more kids. Everything in your physical existence started as a desire and a thought, and then it becomes physical.
Listen, man, I could not agree more. I'm in recovery as well. I don't know if you're still in recovery, but I'm in recovery. Psychedelics is on the outside and I'm not doing psychedelics right now. That's not part of my story, but I don't think it fits into the drug abuse. That's my opinion. Nobody else's. My opinion. Because, it's just like, because they said in AA, Bill W. got in a big fight with everybody because
everybody on acid.
Yeah, he wanted at the end for everybody to do a psychedelic. That was the spiritual experience.
At the end, once you're considered
Once
sober.
you go through the 11 steps, he wants you to drop acid or do mushrooms and then talk to God. So that teach their own. It's I don't want to get crude on here, but it's like if you're I consider drugs and alcohol something you sell your ass for. I don't think anyone's doing that for psychedelics. That's just me. I'm just talking.
Me, nobody's throwing their ass for puking.
For that stuff. But listen, what you've been saying, what really resonates with me, because I talk to people in recovery all the time. And I'm always like, are you doing high vibrational shit or low vibrational shit? Because high vibrational shit brings high vibrational opportunities and high vibrational people into your life. Low vibrational stuff brings low vibrational people. And listen, in recovery, they call them lower companions. I hate that term. I used to be in hotel rooms with shady ass people doing shady ass shit, and they weren't lower companions because I was right there with them on the same exact level. They're people going through it too. So I hate that term, but high vibrational, low vibrational is the energy. What are you doing? I have a couple friends of mine, two of them. I've talked to them before, and it's just like they're always complaining about the same thing. I've known them for almost 20 years. They're broke. Their career isn't going well. They're always into this dark pagan shit, which I think is fallen angels, lower G God bullshit. Okay, I'm not into any of that stuff, but they're always doing, like, both of them have an OnlyFans. And I'm like, listen, man, I have friends of mine that were in the adult film industry. I think they're outlaws. They're born in a shitty ass world, and they're doing whatever they can to change their family fortune. I'm not judging them, but it is low vibrational activity. You are doing sex magic. You're bringing in low vibrational energy. And that's why all these people end up having horrible lives, because they're living in a low vibrational world and having low vibrational patterns. And then when you act in high vibrational, that's, you start to bring in once in a while I'll go and, I've been blessed. This show and a couple of my other shows have brought people into my life that maybe in the past I wouldn't be rubbing elbows with. And I meet these people, they're so shiny and they're happy and they got this vibration to them. Now, I am an outlaw. I lived in the shadows for a long time. I don't mind that world either because, I'm from there. But, you meet these people and you're like, whoa, man, they just have a positive energy to themselves. That's who they are.
I mean, I'm like you, Sam, but I'm sitting next to Tim James here, who's the highest frequency.
Yeah, look how shiny that guy is. That's a shiny, vibrational human being right there.
All he does is eat sprouts all day and tell me to change my language. I mean,
I'm with you. So, and I'm a Christian. I'm getting into this. I constantly get, hey, there's only Jesus. Again, not having an argument or disrespect anybody, but I do believe there's energy manipulation in this wherever we live. Whatever God created, it's energy, and you can manipulate the energy. I don't think there's anything.
I got a gift for you and the Swarm and Johnny there. And I'm going to bring
Not
you
for
guys.
Xavier, though. You got to be a U.S. citizen. Go on.
Oh yeah, for Xavier too. No, we're in. So the gift is I'm going to bring some high vibe stuff here, and you guys, most people, the Swarm, listen to my story before. I grew up redneck and all that stuff, and I thought pretty much everything was woo woo bullshit. And now I'm realizing that everything in society is bullshit, and all the woo woo stuff was pretty much correct. With a couple weirdo things in there that I would discard, right? So because I got first person experience with it. When Mike, the reason why I'm here right now is because of Mike's story with Margot. You guys only got the tip of the spear here, the very touch points of his story. All the stuff that he went through, the port in the top of her head, the chemo being dumped on her brain. Just horrible. Like her losing her hair. And a lot of people know how much, because everybody's affected by cancer nowadays. There isn't one person listening to this that either hasn't had it or doesn't know somebody with cancer. But Mike is going to tell you a story right now if you ask him about the butterfly. So ask him if he'll tell you the butterfly story.
Hey, Mike, will you tell us the butterfly story?
Tim loves the butterfly story, Sam.
Well, I already love it.
So my wife is terminal. She's 38. It's hospice is living in the house. So it's pretty obvious that there's not much time left. My sister and her husband had a trip to go to Yosemite hiking. And my sister goes to the hospice nurse. Hey, we're going to be gone like 2 days. Will we be back in time? Will she still be alive? And the husband said, yeah, I'm pretty sure she will be. So my sister takes off. She's in Yosemite hiking, bad reception. She sees a missed call from somebody. So she knows that my late wife, Margot, has passed. She immediately starts crying and takes off running. And her friend who's with her starts running after her. And she probably runs for about 5 minutes until the friend catches up. But the whole time the friend is chasing her, there's a butterfly following my sister. And finally, my sister stops and her friend is there. And the butterfly rises up from around her knees and looks her right in the eyes. And my sister feels my late wife's presence. Aww. And that. Okay, that's Saturday. My wife passed on Friday. That's Saturday. Sunday morning, my son Chris goes rock climbing. They throw the rocks over. They walk around to start climbing. On his rope is a butterfly. And he immediately feels his stepmother's presence. And he comes home and tells me stories. So now it's about Sunday, 1 or 2 p.m. And now I've heard my sister's butterfly story. I've heard my son's butterfly story. And I'm walking around for literally hours. I said 100 times, where's my butterfly story? Where's my butterfly story? I swear to God. At 10 p.m. that night, I get a text from a woman I've never met, never heard of. She says, Mike, my name's so-and-so. I work at your Volkswagen dealership in Oakland. Now, our Volkswagen dealership in Oakland is a 100-year-old building, 3-story stone building, Oakland on Broadway, all cement, buildings everywhere. I've been there 25 years. Probably at that time, I've been there 15 years. I've never seen a butterfly ever. She sends me a picture of a butterfly that had flown into the showroom and went all the way to the door to my office and sat on a window ledge. So it flew into the showroom probably 50 feet.
Oh, man.
As close to my office as it could get. And she says, the name of the butterfly type is mourning, like in mourning butterfly.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was my butterfly story. And since she's left, because we were twin flames, because I really believe that she was an angel that came here to save my soul, change my eternal destiny. I've had so many profound experiences that are mind-blowing that just you can never justify it logically. And it's all mystical and it's all real and it's all true. So I just wrote a new book called Death, the Greatest Illusion. It'll be out in a couple months because you can never die. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my body. If you think of my body, where's my 50-year-old body? Where's my 10-year-old body? So I'm not my body. My body's 50 trillion living conscious individual cells working their ass off together to create this vessel that will house my soul. I know I'm not my thoughts because they're crazier than hell. So I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my body. So who am I? I'm spirit, I'm energy, I'm eternal, timeless consciousness. I am a soul. And one day I will take my last breath in the physical 3D world and I will exit through my crown chakra and a whole new experience, just like a caterpillar and a butterfly, a whole new experience will begin for me and for you and for everybody listening to me. We're made of atoms. Atoms are 99.9999% space. Okay, what's holding it together? The electromagnetism, which I believe is the intention for me, my soul, to come here, to occupy this body, to have this physical experience, to learn, to evolve, and then go again. And that's the way this works. You know, one of my favorite analogies of life and death is right here. We have 20 acres and we have a walking path called the Camino de Miguel. You can walk the whole property. And part of that walk, you go through the woods. And guess what? When you go into the woods, half is dead and half is alive. And if you and I were to come back 100 years from now, the part that's dead would now be alive and the part that's alive will now be dead. That's how it works. But it's all energy. Tesla said you want to understand the universe, you have to understand energy, vibration, and frequency. And that's what's going on here. It's all energy vibrating at a certain frequency. And when you understand that, now you can manifest, create what you truly desire.
I agree.
Find freedom.
Can I ask you really quickly? No, when you talk about going on and doing it again, how, and I'm just curious if you've thought about this at all, maybe you haven't, and feel free to say so. How then does someone who's passed on and is presumably in another iteration now, how do they influence something like a butterfly? I'm just curious if you thought about that. Like
So
what?
let me tell you some more to the story then real quick. So it's electrical magnetism world. Your body's electrical and the whole planet, that's why I go out and ground. I take off my shoes. I watch the sunrise. I ground the Mother Earth barefoot so I can pick up those negative electrons and cool off this fire from all this EMF bullshit we're living with. And so we're electrical. So when the people pass, they leave their body, they can still affect electrical. There's millions of stories of lights going on, TVs going on, birds knocking on windows, car windows. So what happened 2 weeks after she's passed is right around 4th of July. And I'm going somewhere. I'm late. She died at home in our bed. Okay. And so I run into our bedroom and it's dark out, but I don't turn the lights on. And I get to the bed because I'm just grabbing a jacket off the bed. It's about 10 feet from the light switch. In our bedroom ceiling is floodlights. They all go on. I'm 10 feet from the light switch. They all go on. And now I feel her presence and I hear her voice. And it's different. It's like she's there, but I can't see her. And I was a car dealer and I tested all my salesmen. And she was the only one, and she didn't sell cars for me, but I tested her. She's the only person I ever seen a 10 when it comes to sales. I was a good salesman. I was a 7. And so there she is in her voice, in her personality. I feel her presence. I hear her audibly. And she says, "You're not going to believe this. They hardly ever allow this. But they're allowing me to stay here and to be your guide for the rest of your life."
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
So that was 2 weeks after she passed. Now I could tell you other stories where I left my body and almost got to another dimension, was shoved back into my body. And a woman that was her best friend had the exact same experience sleeping that night. We compared notes the next day. And then I finally got through. And when I got through that other dimension where she was, so we live in an animal body. We urinate, we fornicate, we defecate.
Yeah.
What I saw there was light bodies, okay? None of that, okay? So we're a spirit in an animal body. There is just pure spirit in a light body. The other thing I noticed is that they communicate telepathically. Now, if you can read my mind, I can read your mind. It's pretty hard to screw each other, right? So that's what I experienced there. But here's the mind blower. About a year after she's gone, I go to see a medium in San Francisco. Now, nobody in the world knows this, but after she passed, I would put my elbow on the center console of my car and pretend I'm holding her hand. She comes through in this reading. And that's one of the first things. There were 20 others that are mind-blowing. But the first thing that comes up, she wants you to know that she loves it when you hold her hand in the car. Dude, nobody knew that. Nobody knew that.
That is incredible.
Later,
Unreal.
3 months later, a very dear friend of hers texts me, always say, Mike, I just had a reading. Margot came through. She loves you, and she wants you to know that she loves it, that you now look at her when you hold her hand in the car.
Oh,
That's incredible.
Huh?
That's incredible.
Because now I know she's there. Now I look and I talk to her. And there's so many things, guys.
I just have a quick follow up on that. So now, is it your impression that that's an exception, or that we actually do carry our love for people in this world beyond the grave? Is that because there's some, you hear some people say that those things kind of just fall away when you move on. Your cares for people in the physical plane. And I'm curious about that.
So since her passing, especially the first 4 or 5 years, I would have the most profound experiences and feelings, but it has dissipated somewhat. Now that I'm on this path of building this place, and maybe that was the whole purpose of this, for me to build mountains of hope, but that it's dissipated, but it's changed a little bit, right? But my connection to spirit, my connection to my creator has grown and grown and grown. I don't feel the mysticism from her as much. Perhaps she's busy doing something else. I don't know. But I really believe that we are energy vibrating a certain frequency, and energy can never be created and energy can never be destroyed. And if that's the truth, and I'm 99.999% space, and that energy is flowing through me, it's flowing through you, and we are all connected. And that's why they use divide and conquer to separate it. Because when we unite, just the power of one atom, and God, we're made of trillions and trillions, just the power of one atom will blow your mind. And just imagine if humanity would wake the hell up and say, listen, there's 8 billion of us, they say. And I always imagine, let's say 4 billion of us would lift up someone less fortunate than us. If you think you got it bad, believe me, there's someone who's got it worse. Find them, lift them up, and all this bullshit evaporates. And we are we've ushered heaven back on the earth. That's what it's going to take.
I love what you're talking about. I want to go back for just a second to the tapes that you were listening to and all that stuff. Like, you know, I had this guy on, you know, I have a couple people that help change the way I look at the world. You know, Von Galt, he's a Buddhist author. And another person was Birch Driver, you know, which was an interesting thing because when Birch first came on the show, we both felt like it was just a weird episode. We couldn't click. We just weren't clicking. And then we're like, we got to do it again. We did it again and we hit it off amazing. And he's always had these really important like insights into spirituality that always resonated with me. And one thing he talked about was retrocausality. And he was talking about the notion that like to know that something isn't going to go well, that it already went well. And like that, you know, because time is like a book, right? Instead, you know, it's like, it's not like, it doesn't go this way in a timeline. It's actually stacked on top of you and everything's going on at one time. So like, it's you have to convince your mind that's, you know, if you're having, I got a big job interview or I got something like that, you have to convince your mind that you're not going to do well in the interview. You already did well in the interview. It already happened. It's done. So like what I was telling my friend that because I have a buddy of mine that's getting this really big opportunity and I love him very much. And, you know, and he's just overthinking it. And that like, I can't tell you, and I mean this with love, how many successful people I've met that are extremely ordinary. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I mean that they were able to seize a moment of opportunity when others would overthink it and sabotage themselves. And it, like in recovery, in the big book, it talks about that. We drank because a big opportunity was coming and the anxiety, the situation we wanted to come. Yep. And we do it all the time.
Never even get started.
Yeah.
They never even get started with their
Let me
idea.
add something, Sam, and this might help your friend. So I created an app and it's free. And it's called The Creation Frequency. It's on Google Play and iTunes. And it's already embedded with the theta brainwave music. You can go to my website, MikeMurphyUnfiltered.com or thecreationfrequency.com, and you can find the relaxation script. We've recorded one, but I prefer you do it in your own voice. And then I would tell your friend, say, listen, man, get this app and record this intention. Oh I love my new job. I can't believe what an amazing opportunity this is. Program it as if it already exists because it does in the field of infinite possibilities already right there. You just got to bring it here.
Yes. I totally
manifest it.
I can't express that enough. I had a buddy of mine that he was like Jeff Richards. He was like the only person to ever be on Saturday Night Live and Mad TV. And I always tell people the reason he was able to do all that is because he never felt pressure, ever. I've never met the guy feel pressure. He was the same dude no matter what the situation was, no matter where you threw him in. He never, whether he was smart enough to understand it or not, which, you know, he's done amazing things. So obviously he's intelligent, but he just never, ever. And then I just know so many creative people who just overthink it and they tighten up and it's just like, no. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And
a lot of people hesitate because of fear too. And the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real.
Yes,
okay. And in the head lives fear in the ego, which isn't even real. So imagine all that bullshit. But when you get here, then there's nothing more to fear. And when you've lost the fear of death, what is there to fear? And when you live a life fearlessly, you manifest and you create things. You know, we talk about what they're doing to us today, right? You know what they're doing, what they're very, very effective at? They've destroyed the African American community with it. They're destroying all of America with it. They make us believe that we're victims and we need them.
100%.
And there's nothing further from the truth. We are powerful creators, okay? with a part of the creator within us. That spark is the creator within, and that's where the desire flows from. And we are here to create something and to do something and to leave a legacy for the rest of us and go on and maybe come back or maybe go to another dimension. Who knows? But we are not victims. Either we're all victims or none of us are victims.
I completely agree with you.
Okay, but the truth is, when we understand who we really are, now we can go out and create and manifest the life of our dreams.
And what are we? Unconditional love.
I couldn't agree more, man. I sit there and I listen to all this like, BLM stuff and like, again, and I don't.
Are you talking about Bureau of Land Management?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And I love everybody.
When that stuff first came out, because I'm from Eastern Oregon, I hunt and fish, and it's always like, if you get a piece of property, it was next to some National Forest Service or some BLM.
Yeah.
Bureau of Land Management. It's like, that's good because you'd have extra hunting stuff.
Yeah,
and then when the BLM thing came out, I'm like, what the hell's going on with the BLM? And then it was like, God.
But this whole thing, this whole movement of not just BLM, but almost any of this woke ideology is that you're a victim of circumstances. Yep. And like everything I ever learned in recovery was the exact opposite. Yep. What I've learned in recovery is like I am where I am because of the decision I made and the actions I've taken. And, it's this whole thing with, and I try to teach people, like, you can march all you want. You can shut down traffic on the 101 for pro-Palestine. And like, listen, if you want to make me pro-Israel, shut down traffic for pro-Palestine. And I'll be suddenly like, okay, I have to rethink my position right now, okay? But I'm team humanity, which includes Israelis and Palestinians. I don't want anyone to die. I'm anti-government. That's who I am. Because this whole thing is just warmonger pigs trying to make money off of death and destruction. So they are all angels of death. That's what I'm into. Hamas, IDF, they're all controlled opposition by very powerful people that want us to get to fight with each other. Okay, but so all the marching in the world ain't gonna do shit. Ain't gonna do shit. What you're gonna do is you want change, you gotta change yourself. You cannot change the game. You have to beat the game. Yep. And you beat the game by doing high vibrational shit, overcoming the game, and you show others how to beat the game, and then they beat the game. And then the game adapts to you. The game changes. You don't change the game. You have to change the game by beating the game, and then the game changes itself. And that's what happens all the time. One person says enough. They show people that nothing's going to happen. It's like when I go on stage and I do this politically incorrect comedy, that because I just see force at gunpoint to see diversity. I talk about the funny things I see in diversity. I do it so people see that the walls aren't bleeding. The house isn't on fire. We can talk about each other and have fun with it, because it doesn't mean I hate you. It just means you do funny stuff that makes me laugh. And guess what? Last night at the Comedy Store, people were rolling. They're like, oh, okay, it's not the end of the world. He made a joke about this and that and that. It's not the end of the world. It's funny, and that's how you change the game. You show people it's okay.
What if the game isn't supposed to be beat?
In what sense?
Dude, I mean, okay.
Every game is meant.
Okay,
it's a game.
So we were talking about like forever chemicals. You try to be healthy, you try to do everything you can, and you find out that the water's fucked. You can't drink bottled water. Now you got to get glass water. To get glass water,
how do you beat that? You don't drink bottled water.
Yeah, to get glass water, you got to
do filtered water.
Yeah, but you got to get a company, because you can't just go to Albertsons and buy glass bottles. You can't.
Well, Tim, one of the first things Tim ever taught me, this was many years ago, was get a water filter. And I have a high-end water filter that I only drink filtered water now. That's it. I don't drink any unless it's.
Where are you getting it from? The tap?
Can you filter tap water, Tim?
Sure.
Yeah.
Purification.
I have a super reverse osmosis, the highest M1 that does through 5 different things.
Get mine out of the ground.
Okay, see, so
if you can, but I live in Tarzana.
Yeah. And then here's the other one, the new one that I found out, that now you have to filter your shower water, whatever water you shower with, because your skin is your biggest organ in your body, and now the water's going in.
I'm sure
I can attest about that just from the steam from that. I noticed that my sinuses are really sensitive to whatever's in the water, and I'll just, if I take a long shower like a hotel, I just walk out just sneezing. from
Yeah, go to
apparently
Vegas.
the things
Well,
on the.
I won't even take a shower in Vegas. The water's so terrible.
Is that
So,
what it is? Really? Okay.
yeah,
Well,
the skin. Actually, I've learned lately. Here's some more woo-woo stuff. The biggest organ is
Whoa,
your
whoa.
energetic aura around your body. The second one, the physical one, would be your fascia, which your whole body's made of, and the second one then is your skin. But when you take a shower, like a 5-10 minute shower, that's equivalent to drinking 8 glasses of water and whatever's in that water. So yeah, you want to have your
Yep.
think about it. If you went out into a lake, let's say, in fact, this actually happened in the 70s when all these fish started dying in the Great Lakes. You guys can go look this up. And they were finding the dead fish on the side of the bank of these lakes. And do you think for a minute they were like, oh my God, these fish are sick. Let's set up some hospital things on the side and we'll start pumping them full of chemo and save them? No, what people thought was, what the hell's in the water that's killing these fish? What's in the environment, the terrain theory that Sam was talking about? And then what ended up happening was fish were eating, or these birds were eating the fish, and the fish started having very thin eggs, and then the birds were dying. So back to Mike's point, we're all connected. The fish are connected to the birds. We're connected to the fish and the birds. This is why we have to really put the planet, which is the living organism, first, along with ourselves, and understand that we are just an extension of the planet, no different than a tree that's rooted into it, because the bones that are in our bodies right now giving us structure are made of minerals that are the same ones in the soil. Our bodies are full of water that you find in lakes and streams and rivers and creeks, and we have bacteria in our gut, like Mike was talking about earlier, that are also the exact same bacteria in the soil. So we are Earth. We are Mother Earth. And to extrapolate that out, if you look at we are nature, we are Earth. The Earth is part of the solar system. The solar system is part of the galaxy. The galaxy is part of the universe. The universe is part of the multiverse and beyond who knows what. We have literally the power of the universe inside of us. Literally, we are connected. We are part of, it's all connected. It's really, God, I mean, when you start thinking about this, like, wow, I have all this power inside of me. It's locked inside me. And I've been told that I'm stupid and I'm dumb and I fear. And they're trying to keep people down and divide and conquer, like Mike said. When people start realizing what their true potential is, it's Katie bar the door. I mean, this is like my buddy who healed himself of cancer. And now he's just kicking ass in life. Kicking ass. He's detoxed relationships out of life. He's got new relationships. He started playing guitar. He got a band going. He got successful in business again. And he was dying of cancer, and he healed himself with plants and juices and that kind of stuff. And now he's all powerful because he's realized what he is. And we've seen this again. And another example would be the zoo. Mike, you ever been to a zoo?
Yeah, but I want to circle back on the water real
do
quick,
it.
can I? So what I think the biggest thing we do at Mountains of Hope here, we have MOH Presents. We have an hour in the morning, an hour at night, where we do a lot of education. And there's nothing more important than water. Our body is 70% water. The planet is 70% water. And the water in America is poison. And the bottled water, the plastic is killing you. So what we do at Mountains of Hope here, when I first bought this property, we were on a well system. I had the water tested. It wasn't very good. So I tied into the city water. Then I bought a very expensive filtration system. So the city water goes through the filtration system, and that's what comes out of the shower. Plus, we have the charcoal filters in the shower head. So our water is super pure. But the drinking water, we use a distiller called an Aquanini, and we make our own water through distilling. What is distilled water? It's rainwater. Okay, so it's the way water was designed to be. So we take this distilled water, we add some minerals to it, and then we structure it. Why do we structure it, and what does that mean? We're just spinning the water all day long in these little containers because water would fall from the sky, it would go into the earth, and it would pick up its minerals in the earth, and then it will be in a stream, so it was always moving. When it's structured like that, the molecule is smaller, so it's easier to get into the cell and replenish the cell. And hydration is everything. And if you don't believe me, ask Tom Brady. That's how he was able to play in the NFL until he's 45, because he was always hydrated and he always took care of his body. And water is crucial. I want to add one more thing because Mountains of Hope is so powerful. And what blew my mind, we just had all these famous doctors through here with huge followings, brilliant people. And we do a thing called here a brain mapping. It costs anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. It's included in our signature retreat. We put 24 electrodes on your brain, and we measure the energy in your each region of your brain and how the mitochondria is producing energy. When I had mine done, the guy said, dude, if you don't do something within 6 months, you're going to end up with dementia. And when these doctors left, every single one of them reached out for the report because they weren't here long enough till we got the report back. And it blew my mind how much they wanted to know about their brain. So water's important, but I'm going to tell you something. You lose this thing up here, it's hard to function in this body.
Yeah.
And so that's something we do here at Mountains of Hope. So we do so much stuff here that's not done anywhere else. And that's why people learn to heal and transform.
I'm in, dude. I love you guys. So now you guys just had a retreat. Let's just wrap it all up. You guys just had a retreat. Are you having another retreat? Is it a constant thing, or is it, or how, like, let's say someone's really interested. They want to go because, you know, we're very blessed to have listeners who are fully engaged with our guests. So let's say some people want to go. When's the next one? Is it monthly? What is the whole schedule?
So you know, down here in Colombia, I think they take 6 weeks off for Christmas. Okay. And what's interesting about Medellin, the population are Jews that were kicked out of Spain and Portugal in the 1700s. So they came to Medellin, and this is where they started. And then guess what? They followed them here, stole their gold, and converted them to Catholicism. So even though they're all Jewish, they practice Catholicism.
What?
And Christmas,
That's crazy.
yeah, it's crazy, right? My wife just got her passport back to Spain because it said, "Oh, we're sorry we kicked you out of here 300 years ago. Come on back." And so she just became a Spain citizen. So it's super crazy. But where I was going with that, I forgot.
Well, January 20th is
Oh,
our
right.
next signature retreat.
Yeah.
And I have a challenge for the swarm. So for those of you listening, is like, we have to get Sam here.
Yeah.
Okay. I've tried to get him here. So what I want you guys to do is reach out to him and email. For those of you that are interested in this for yourself or for a family member, go to mountainsofhope.com. You can book a consult with us. We only have 12 bedrooms. This is a very unique experience. We pick you up at the airport. You're put into a cocoon of healing. You get an advocate working with you the whole time to make sure you're on time. You go to all of your appointments and stuff. They just love on you. If we get about 11 of you, 10, even 8,
retreat.
it would be a swarm retreat. You guys email Sam and say, Sam, I'm going. Well, we only need 11 people out of how many hundreds of thousands are listening to this. Come on down and then force Sam to get his butt down here, and you guys can all hang out with him and watch him heal as you heal.
And we can pass the basket like they do after a meeting. Everybody chip in. We can buy his plane ticket. It's not a geographical either, Sam. You're coming here for healing and transformation.
All right, we'll figure it out.
One thing I gotta ask:
if 11 swarms sign up, I'll go.
What is the healing? What is a healing labyrinth? Because I was looking at some of your facilities,
So this labyrinth that we built here comes from Paris, France. It's a 12th century labyrinth. People have been walking in for over 10 centuries, and we've created a guided meditation as you walk it. And what's cool about it, the whole guided meditation, pilgrims have been doing this forever. But when we created a guided meditation with music, as you walk it, you're like peeling an onion. You're peeling that onion, but what you're doing is you're undoing your program. And after about 10 minutes of walking the labyrinth, now you're in the middle of the labyrinth, which has a different sound frequency to it. Believe it. That's how sacred geometry works. And then now you've deflowered yourself of all your negative programming, all your childhood programming, all the shit in your subconscious you weren't aware of. And now you get to this middle of the labyrinth where there is nothing, because that's who we really are. That's where we really are. But as you walk out of the labyrinth, you get to start reprogramming your life from the desires of your heart. And now you're creating the life of your dreams, not your parents, not society, not media, your life. And you become stronger and more powerful.
Well, I'm in, guys. I really do appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you so much, Mike Murphy. Thank you so much, Tim James. Is there anything else you guys would like to promote here? Links to where people could go?
I mean, really, our whole focus is on Mountains of Hope right now. And if you know anybody that's suffering physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, they come here. I promise It's impossible not to wake up. It's impossible not to get into that beautiful heart again. And it's impossible to not to start a healing and transformation process. I believe you show up day one, person A, and a week later leave person Z with it. Dr. Joe teaches you want a new personal reality, you got to change your personality. And we're going to help you and show you how to do that.
I love it.
Yeah. How we got together, actually, I went on Mike's podcast and then.
Yeah, and you'll love this, Sam. He's on my podcast. I ask him one question. An hour later, I say, okay, thanks, folks.
Tim, you got anything you want to push?
Well, I got really excited when the reason initially I came down here to help him out. And one thing that's different is like this high touch stuff. So we take our detox and nutritional products when people come through the signature retreat, and we deliver them. And they start detoxing and cleansing before they even get here. Yeah. And we have a doctor. You'll have a meeting with a doctor before you even get here. We don't wait. We get on it right now. You book the retreat, you put your money down, and then stuff starts coming. So you could have a month or two of detoxification. So when you get here, it's less of that, Hertz reaction, the detoxification process. And so you can have a more enjoyable experience. We get you going now. And for those that maybe financially can't make it to Mountains of Hope, even though it's literally 4 times less than the cost of what we added it all up. It's like a $22,000 program, and everything's $3,000 to $6,000 depending on where you're at and what you take.
What room?
Yeah, what room you get and stuff like that. But if for those people that can't make it, we're still doing it all day long. We're like we're the Heal at Home program here at Chemical Free Body. So we have our detox nutrition products and our new silver stuff, which I got to get Dr. Keith Moeller on here. He's going to blow everybody's mind. We have a nano silver now that's it's going to change medicine, so we're excited about that. But that's at our website at chemicalfreebody.com. And use the code SAM at checkout, and you guys get an extra 5% off.
Yeah, I love it. I use his products all the time. I really
There it is
do.
right there. Those are the 2 new products back up there, the Parasite Formula and then the Nano Silver Bundle.
All right. I'm in, dude. I'm in. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. Great.
Down, Sam.
What's that?
Swarm it, guys.
Come on down.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, guys.
By the way, Medellin is called the city of eternal spring. Every day it's 60 to 80 degrees. We're 7,000 feet in the Andes Mountains. There's we don't need a heat. We don't need air conditioning. We got very few bugs. I mean, this is the most unique city in the world for climate.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar loved
I'll
it.
move there right now.
Sam, can you tell I don't look like a vampire anymore?
You look great, buddy. You look great. How long are you going to be there for?
I've been here the first time about 2.5 weeks. This is about 2.5 weeks, and then I'll be back in January, 1st of January, to get ready for our signature retreat, January 20th.
Well,
so hopefully we'll some of the swarm there, and
yeah, come on, swarmers.
Maybe you guys get going.
Honor and a privilege to have you guys here. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We'd love to come out. Hey, man, 11 people show. Sign up. Daddy will come and hang out too. I'll come. So thank you guys. Guys, thank you so much again joining us on our 7th year anniversary of the Swarm of Tinfoil Hat. Thank you guys for being a part of all this. We love you, Swarm. And hang out we're going to have a little discussion about this episode. Then we'll have some highlights of my other podcast. So stay tuned, and thank you guys so much. And we really do appreciate you. Thank you guys very much.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam.
All right, let's have a little breakdown of the episode. I thought it was great, guys. What are your thoughts?
I think you're going to end up in Colombia and Medellin.
Moving there? I think about it. I dream of it all the time.
You would move to Colombia?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Back in the day,
well, I could. I mean, I could never get my daughters out there, so I can't go. I'm not going anywhere.
America is the hub. You can barely leave LA, dude. You're not going to leave America.
America.
I would love to, but
you would love to leave America.
I would love to. I would like to go. I would like to buy property in Colombia.
Yeah, but I want to keep slugging it out here on the front lines of this culture war.
You want to get in it. Johnny does not want to move it.
Don't you feel
LA.
like that's kind of stepping away from the front lines?
Yeah,
leaving
for
America?
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, but like at what point is it no longer my job to be on the front
Howard
lines?
Stern's 70 and he's still doing this show.
Well, he's on the wrong side of the culture war.
Yeah, but he's still in the war.
Yeah,
isn't that how you feel about
he's like
California?
what are they called?
Sellout?
No. In Lord of the Rings, what are the Goblin army guys? The The bad guys are.
Oh yeah.
In Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what they're called. I thought it was. It's not
I
goblins.
can't believe you're a nerd dork. You're
No, I'm
supposed
not.
to know all
I mean,
that.
it's been decades since I saw that shit. I
lot
read those
going on
books when
there.
I was a kid. What are they called? Oh,
the bad guy forces in. Anyway,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean,
Yeah, and it's really not that important to this conversation.
no, it's really not at all.
And
is
it's
it? But
just
it'll annoy the
unbelievable.
orcs.
Orcs. Yeah. Nah, Howard Stern is an orc. That's his job.
He's more like the wizard.
Yeah.
like Saruman or whatever.
Yeah,
Sauron.
he's a soldier. Anyways, I think it's interesting, man. I really do want to start, to the best of my abilities, to be able to, deparasite myself. Oh, by the way, dude, what a giant fuck up I did calling it weed depositories. I'm gonna eat. That's gonna be played for the rest of my life.
depositories is one thing, but
Suppositories.
yeah, and then suppositories is a whole other thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then
don't- but-
dispensaries are the correct thing.
Dispensaries is what I meant to say. I like combine them in some weird kind of way, dude.
It's so funny.
Obviously, I'm
I
an
think
idiot.
depository is probably a word, though. I feel like.
I was gonna ask you, Sam. Did you ever think you were gonna be this like health conscious, where like you're taking these vitamins? Like I've traveled with you, and you have vitamins.
No,
you
no,
got his
I am
chemicals.
A giant,
Sounds like my grandma.
dude. I am trying to It's kind of like Kanye West trying to get his soul back after selling out to all that
I see.
darkness. After I did so much damage to my body, I'm trying to catch up, be like, hey, we're cool, right?
Dude, I relate to that 100%.
We're
Growing
good?
up on
Are
junk
we
food
good?
and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, dude, I did drugs. I did speed. I didn't drink water for 2 days.
And
bro.
now you carry a jug of water.
Now I carry a jug of water with my heavy legs,
Okay,
bro.
so do you think it's working? Do you think your body is feeling the difference of you actually putting
Let
in
me
the
ask
time
you
and
something.
effort?
Do you think I look the same age as a lot of my friends that are my age?
You look a lot better.
Yeah.
You're looking a lot better.
You know why? I mean, listen, dude. I it never gets old. Everyone going, "Oh my God, you look so young." Yeah, I look young for a 51-year-old. I'm still a 51-year-old. Okay, I mean that's just the way it is. But people go, well, how do you do it? I don't drink. I don't smoke. Those are the two biggest things. Dude,
You get some good sleep. As much as you say you're tired, you are in bed though.
yeah, I try to go to bed.
Yeah, you try to
The
do that.
drinking piece of that is something that has been so misrepresented as far as the damaging effects of
Yeah,
alcohol.
yeah. Well, it bloats you, but really,
but
what
way more
ages
than
you
that.
is smoking
But
cigarettes.
dude, alcohol,
your
dude,
lungs.
they find out more and more. I've read
Yeah, I
that
hate
some of the
reading
doctors I follow, like Peter Attia, has talked about how harmful even a little alcohol is. They're finding now. They used to say oh, a glass of wine, whatever. Now they're finding even that is harmful.
Well, dude, it's
in some
anything,
ways,
any of
limited
those
ways.
old sayings. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, Johnny. Finish
No,
your thought. Sorry.
that was it. No.
But it's even the old saying of it's hey, any of these old sayings breakfast is the most important
Bullshit.
dinner.
Yeah.
It's meal of the day. It's a total lie.
It's a scam.
They
Yeah.
just lie right to your fucking face.
Eating right is the hardest. Though.
It is the hardest.
So hard, man.
Because all the shitty food tastes the best.
And it's convenient. It's in
Yeah.
a bag that
Yeah,
could
I'll
last
fight
for months.
everybody.
You can
know
pop
who
it open anytime you
You know
want.
who you can see the huge difference between the two bears?
What now?
You know what I'm talking about? The two bears in
Yeah.
the one cave. You can
Yeah.
see the huge difference on the one who doesn't drink
Oh.
and the one who does. One of them is if you see Tom Segura's old special to his new one, it's a whole different person.
Wait, isn't it Bert though? Bert lost a lot of weight, right?
Bert lost
only to
all
prove a
the
point.
weight.
He did to prove a point. It was to prove a point so he can go on his carnival cruise and tell people that look, I'm.
Oh, is
I'm
that
not
what that's
alcoholic.
about? That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, but isn't he some people think he's got some work done?
he's got the Mickey Mouse
Oh,
gene.
really?
I do agree with that, but the Mickey Mouse gene does kill you. I don't care what you
No,
say.
but he's saying he had plastic surgery.
Oh.
Or something.
Something done. I know they did something to his liver. He got rid of all they drained his liver or
that
something.
possible?
like
Drained
that.
his liver.
Something they
What?
got this procedure.
What are you
that
doing with your hands there? What is that?
Just where they're extracting it. They're extracting
Looks like you're
it.
pulling a rubber band.
They're extracting it. They did something like that, and then his gut is looks good. He's definitely lost the weight.
Yeah, it looks
the,
great,
The
yeah.
really weird thing about him is it's you can't keep doing that.
That
You
would
just
kill
can't-
me, dude.
You
I would have
can't
been dead
yo-yo
already.
like that, dude. And I don't know why he drinks. He probably got molested or something. I don't know,
jeez.
or is secretly gay. I don't know,
He
but
just loves to drink. You can't like agree that maybe the guy.
Well,
the way he talks about liquor is scary though. Like how he's like, have you ever been a whiskey
Listen,
guy? And you want a whiskey
I
at
love
7 in the
Bert
morning?
Kreischer. He doesn't return my text. It hurts my feelings, but that's okay because it's none of my business why he doesn't text me back. I'm fine with it, even though I'm not. But I am fine with it. I move on from it. But you don't drink like that. There's certain friends of mine that do things at this age that over time you're supposed to realize you're not supposed to do that or you have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like at that age, you don't drink like that unless you have a problem. You know, it's like my friend who just started doing OnlyFans out of nowhere. It's like, dude, you don't do that.
It's a guy?
Yeah.
It's just a guy on an OnlyFans?
No, it's like he does gay porn now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's Jason Ellis,
Oh,
who I
okay.
love.
Okay.
Who I love. I love him to pieces, man. But it's like, you know, you're not supposed to go to this age and
Doesn't
like
he have enough money? Like what?
no,
what is-
he does. I mean, I don't want to get into that. Like, I don't. That's not the point
Okay.
because everyone's going through something.
the point to me.
But
yeah.
you know, it's just like, and I don't want to bring up the money thing because I know he's going through some stuff right now. But it's like, again, going back to I said earlier, it's high vibration, low vibration.
That hat looks good, by the way. That
Does
swarm
it?
hat you have on.
Yeah,
it's
I
sick,
mean, it's like, look at that, dude.
Go get him.
Bang.
Go get them. They're on
This is-
SamTripoli.com. Go cop them.
Go, you just go to tinfoilhattshirts.com. Grab them right now.
You got dad hats and snapbacks.
Got dad hats and snapbacks. Look at that, dude. You did great. I gave this to you. Gave me one last night. I gave it to a fan.
They look good.
Yeah, I think they do look good. I love them very much, dude. It's
Thanks,
great.
thanks for mine, by the way. Appreciate it.
Well,
I got
Thanks,
a whole. I had to go.
Go
I got
grab
you.
one,
Go
you-
grab one.
you
Go grab
asshole.
one. $20 and $30. Go get it. You pay for shipping. It's cheap. Let's do
I
it.
don't make enough money to buy hats. I'm sorry.
So my whole thing is this: is that you know I think it's great, and I love that he helps, you know, poor people with being.
Oh, the
able-
guest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, good for him.
Sucks. It sucks that when somebody's. It sucks our healthcare industry is so built on you've got to have money to be healthy. It sucks. So the fact that he's helping those people is amazing, and I love how he talked about how like the doctor treated her different than when his wife went, which is such because it's like so because like I love the pushback like, oh dude, racism isn't what you think it is, and then you hear those stories, you're like, there's still that out there, and because I don't have that in my heart.
No, me either. It
I'm
cuts
not-
both ways. Though. If they find out you have insurance, then you're gonna get run through every possible test and injection they could possibly give you.
And I also like the healthcare again. For even if you have money, the healthcare industry is just ridiculous. I'm sorry, but it's like your deductible. It's like, why am I having to pay this deductible? Oh, up to this much money? No, it should be. And hear me out. If once I've paid enough of my payments on my insurance that equal the deductible, there shouldn't be the deductible. You've gotten your money. You've gotten your money. Once I
I
pay
think
that,
that's just to keep people from doing little things, right?
You know which one I feel like
fuck
that about?
that.
I agree. Yeah.
You know which one I feel like that about? Car insurance. You know how long I've been paying car insurance? I haven't gotten one single car. I haven't gotten one car accident. I should get some money back. I definitely should have to pay a deductible, like Sam says.
Yeah, I do. I do think that. I mean, and here's the worst part about insurance is like you have to hope they pay you. Like you pay your insurance forever, on time, all the time, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna give it to you."
Or they
like,
change the rules, a little sneaky rule on what they cover, and and you
So like
missed it.
so like there was a period where like I looked at my bank account and I noticed that I wasn't getting charged for one of my daughter's insurance. Like they just kicked her off for no reason. So then we discovered that had been for 6 months.
Oh damn!
I didn't notice it.
So you lost continuing coverage, then if anything had happened.
But here's what happened was they retroactively charged me for the insurance I didn't pay. But I go, you know that if she had a health,
Nope.
you would not have covered my daughter. You would have said, no, you didn't have a policy with us at the time, so we can't cover you. So you're going to charge me for time that you know in your heart of hearts you would never have covered me because you guys kicked her off this payment.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely effing ridiculous.
Oh, and then they're gonna charge you like a reinstatement fee.
Yeah. So that's it, dude. And another thing I want to get into is like, I know it's a struggle with people. And then some people get mad at me, but I really do struggle with manifestation when it comes to Christianity. And, you know,
What do you mean by that? Struggle with it. What do you mean?
like I'm told that there is no place for that.
I don't believe that at all.
Really? Because
Prayer is a very
manifestation.
very much
Well, it's
that,
like
yeah.
it's like they talk. It's like I just feel that like
Pray without ceasing is what the Bible teaches.
pray with what's
Pray,
ceasing.
pray without stopping. Don't always be in the spirit of prayer is the idea. Like always be.
Yeah, I mean that's what I believe.
His
For
message about getting a notepad and then talking about how it's already happening.
Yes.
Like write it down and say, hey, what do you want? You want to get back with your wife? Write it down that you're already back with
Yeah.
your wife. That to
Yeah,
me was like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Sometimes it does really trigger something and at least get you happy, like you said.
That's why I think. I mean, like I just it. You know, then they're like, you know, that's Luciferian manifestation. I'm like, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like, man. I mean, like you follow God, you follow the commandments, you have Jesus as your savior.
Here's the verse, Thessalonians. Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. So there you go. Be thankful. You know, that positive mindset that you're always talking about. And you know, they've demonstrated, studies have demonstrated that people, you know, who pray have better outcomes, health outcomes.
Well,
And-
I think
and
people have gotten
church-
their life have better outcomes. That's my humble opinion. You know,
The thing I struggle with is this idea of Bryce Young going before reporters after the game and thanking God for sparing his health. You know, like, oh, you know, God's really favored me, and then thinking about all the kids that are, you know, die at 3 or 2 of diseases and stuff.
What
Like,
what
I
is your
struggle with
thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, I think about it a lot, but it's tough.
I think that's
tough.
where that's some Luciferian shit. You know, he is the king of this realm.
That's the only answer for it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Maybe that, I don't know, man.
Doesn't it kind of sound like that? I mean, not in a weird way. Who's that chick that said that God doesn't exist because her Achilles fucking tore on her last game?
What?
What?
No, I've never heard of that.
Remember that U.S. Female soccer player that said that God doesn't exist because
No. Let me look at that one.
What, for real, you guys didn't never see
No,
that?
never
She's
heard
she was like, you know who it is, that lesbian LGBTQ chick.
Rapinoe, Megan Rapinoe?
Yeah, she was playing in her last fucking game, and
Oh, here it is. Okay.
It's
3 minutes
crazy.
into the last game of her career, the championship game of the season, Megan Rapinoe tore her Achilles, after which she declared her injury to be proof that God did not exist. If there was a God, this is proof there isn't,
imagine thinking that.
is what she said. What the
And she's like supposed to be the captain for the U.S. soccer team, and she's literally
Well,
saying,
she sucks. I mean, she's an established piece of shit.
Yeah, she's an
horrible.
established hypocrite piece of shit. Her brother is literally a white supremacist.
Listen to what she
Maybe
says.
she's
It's so
This is a
stupid.
long one. Although I'm gonna get the Aaron Rodgers treatment, whatever that is. So I'm gonna be calling him or whoever did his surgery because we need to speed this up. But yeah, I thought about it a little bit. I mean, you know, I'm not a religious person or anything. And if there was a God, like this is proof that there isn't. This is up.
Yeah, you dumb bitch.
Your Achilles is
You
proof.
dumb
Oh, my
bitch. You're
God.
like,
It's
I don't
just
believe in God, but this proves that there's no God.
Yeah,
It's like, get the fuck out of here, you dumb bitch. Look how
Stupid.
unhealthy you look. Look how unhealthy and unhappy you look. Your own teammates despise you. Like, get out of here, you gross bitch.
The worst. Like,
You're just a gross bitch.
God thinks about your dumbass career.
Yeah, I mean, you're just a gross bitch. You couldn't even beat a men's high school, a boys' high school
Yeah,
team.
it's so funny.
You're a gross bitch.
They got
You're a
their asses beat.
manipulator. You're a destroyer. You're just like, you're gross.
And you missed the PK for the U.S. soccer
Yeah,
team.
you can't even like
Fuck
kick.
outta here.
You're gross. I'll fight you. No, I won't fight you. I don't fight women. I've been punched 1,000 times. Never return fire.
Why are you getting punched by so many women? That's a question I have.
What is love, baby? Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Johnny, find that Godzilla song again. That's my jam
Are you
right there.
are you enjoying any of it yet? Because I knew you were complaining in the beginning that it was very woke.
What, the Godzilla stuff?
Is it getting
Well,
any
it's not in the movie,
action?
right?
No
I
action?
love Godzilla. Monarch is too much story, not enough monsters. That's my humble opinion. And maybe it's more expensive to make more monsters, but it's like, there's just not enough monsters.
How about the one at the theater?
Oh, bro.
How was that? Are you
The
there?
best.
Yeah.
The bum, 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 bum. Johnny, have you found it? I need it to go out on.
Oh, are you serious? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got to do the website, right?
Oh, yeah, go to samtripoli.com. Can you play it lightly in the background?
well, okay, sure.
Johnny,
I said sure. I'm looking it up. I'm
go
pulling
to
up.
samtripoli.com. You can see, again, El Monte. This already happened. It was the best show ever of all time.
So many Mexicans.
So many, all Mexicans,
Conspiracy
woke
theorists,
Mexicans.
yeah.
December 22nd, I will be doing my revival again at the Rabbit Hole. Grab that.
That's a whole different thing. If you guys don't know, it's not. It's like he's talking to you guys,
Some
interacting.
spiritual shit.
Yeah, trust me. Expect something different.
Yeah. Dude, this is my jam. This is how I'm going to make love to women. Show starts at 9:30.
You got to have a real hog to play the Godzilla theme before you bone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so I can't play it.
Oh, come on.
Okay,
Johnny.
just and then
Take it out, then play the music. That's what I was saying. Don't play the music, then take it out.
yeah.
You got to order that correctly.
Okay, then Cleveland with the Prophet Eddie Bravo and Xavier Guerrero. I'd be doing Cleveland, Pottstown, and then my good friend Xavier Guerrero will be joining me in Pittsburgh. Okay, Pittsburgh on the 13th. 2 shows. Tickets are moving. Grab them now. And then Batavia, home of the champions, at the Comedy Vault at the end of January. So grab those tickets now. And then we have the 16th, I believe, is the next Comedy Chaos after that. Great show again at the end. Thank you, everybody who came. And Chaos Twins is moving forward, so we'll keep you posted. If you did do the big one, I will be contacting you very soon to figure out when we'll have the podcast. Maybe we'll put it at the end of all these shows, my interview with these people. So we'll see, man. I don't know. Anything else, guys? Pitch whatever you want. Did we do T-shirts already?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we did. We went over the beanies.
Okay.
and the hats.
Anything? Any pitch?
This Friday, right?
Yeah.
Live. This Friday, live. Is it? Yeah.
Oh no. That already happened,
Oh, it
buddy.
happened. Sorry, guys.
That
You guys
already
missed
happened,
it.
dude.
Oh,
No.
man.
Well, it
When do we?
depends on-
We haven't decided. Yeah.
No, we're going to do that one Thursday.
Yeah. So this is coming out next week. So yeah.
Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3
Yes,
p.m. Pacific.
yes,
We're going to
yes.
go live again. We had great success.
No, hold on.
Well, you tell me then. Okay. I thought
So
we were
we
going to
had
do
discussed-
it this week. We're going to do it Friday.
This
at
is
noon.
coming out next week.
And then next week, which what we would be promoting right on this show. It's
no,
gonna come out
I want to
Tuesday.
be done next Wednesday.
Yeah, he's done.
So then no more. Then this is the last one.
Yeah,
this week.
this
So
Friday.
there's nothing to promote here.
Yeah.
Done.
So
Yeah.
sorry you missed it.
Yeah,
Missed
sorry if you didn't catch it. You didn't
Go to
get it.
youtube.com/SamTripoli. Watch the replay of Tinfoil Hat Live.
Yeah. All right, guys.
We'll
anything
start back
else?
next year. We'll be back next year.
Next year we'll kick it out. Daddy needs a break. Sorry, guys. Daddy needs a break.
Yeah, this guy's he's running himself ragged.
Yeah, I'm going nuts. I got to hang out with my kids more. I love them. I'm a great dad, but I need to be even better dad. All right, guys, real quick, you'll hear something about our affiliates. Do we want to go into that real quick or?
At your pleasure.
Okay, I love Golden. Hey, dude, who knows? A lot of people talking about financial crisis, cash money gone, silver and gold. Buy it, get it, love it. Go to samtripoli.gold. Grab that. I'm doing the program every week. I'm buying every month. I buy more and more silver from them. AquaCure hydrogen brown gas. You like to be young? You want to be young? Check it out. Bang. Then our good friends at Harley Ray use the promo code SWARM15. Get 15% off. Candles, crystals, you name it. Cool shit. And then we also have Chemical Free Body. Use the discount. Tinfoil Hat. You heard Tim James today. I use it every day. As soon as it's done, I'm going to pop some of those of his supplements. I love it. And then I cannot tell you enough about how much I love my good friend Joel Staley and his workout program. I'm hitting the gym all the time. I didn't realize how much I loved lifting weights. I just love it. I love it from...
Really?
I
can't get into it, dude.
I'm a big people watcher, so I love watching people while I work out. Some of those people are hot young chicks with fat asses, but I like to also watch all the weirdos lift weights with they make up new workouts.
Are you using your heavy legs for that?
I do
Yeah.
squats. But it's all from Joel Staley. I getting in the fasting, all that stuff. Telegram's on fire. Go to click the banner, talk to Joel Staley. Then I got Only Conspiracies and the Zero Telegram.
And then what are you? You're going live on Twitter now? What is that about?
I just decided
Is that a thing? Or is that
no,
just
I'm
random?
just random. I'm trying to promote, Johnny.
I like how you're like, I'm cutting stuff out. And now actually, I'm going live on Twitter.
Well, Johnny, I mean, also, I just talk to myself.
Yeah, he also
all
does
day.
the drive-bys randomly. Those are great too. The
Yeah.
drive-bys.
Yeah. So then you check
so
out
much stuff.
all my free content there. And then we have a radio show on SamTripoli.com. Tinfoil hats and anything Sam. There we go. So guys, thank you guys so much. We have 2 more episodes after this, and then we're done. Bye. Enjoy the highlights.
Hey, stay with us. Here's a clip from Broken Simulation. I don't know what this dweeb's problem is. It's this guy. He's like, what would you say, 12 years old?
Yeah.
Maybe 16 with a problem, with like a pituitary issue or something.
Well, this is a kid who's breaking down why he believes Africa will be one of the most prosperous continents.
Do you think how many letters do you think he's written to what's her
Santa
name?
Claus?
No, Greta Thunberg.
Yeah,
trying to get her number.
Yeah.
Greta, I'm just the
Like,
biggest fan.
this
Would
is
you please
like-
go on a date with me?
Yeah.
Hello, Greta.
It's
I'm
so
the
funny
biggest
listening
fan
to this kid.
of your.
It's so
I've
hilarious.
tried to follow in your footsteps. Would you please go on a date with me?
And unlike many countries in the West, including Britain, Africa is not saddled with debt. The British debt is 87% of the British GDP, while the African debt is only 9% of their GDP.
Who's in the
All
audience?
but 2 countries in
This is a
Africa
TED Talk, by the
pay
way.
off their debt within 1 year. So the potential is already there,
Potential.
and the growth is already beginning. Even now, Africa is the continent in the world
He looks
with the
like he sounds,
fastest
by the way.
economic growth. The GDP per capita of sub-Saharan Africa is expected to rise by 800%
This guy must be great at parties.
from 2020 to 2050.
Great at
Anyone
parties.
who doubts Africa can make quick economic progress
Oh,
like
run,
this
it's the guy
should
who won't
look
shut up about
at the
Africa.
economic history of the US. In 1977, the US economy was the same
In
size
the
as
words of
African
the great
economy is
Geechee
today.
guy, this kid
And
doesn't
since
even know
then,
he's gay
the
yet.
American economy has grown by a massive $18.419 trillion. And with Africa having more natural resources
know what
than the
you're
US,
talking about. I
its
slay,
progress
pussy
in
boy.
the next 40 years could be even more spectacular. So if you are someone here today who thinks that Africa will never catch up with the rest of the world, I want to say that you will be proved wrong.
Okay, kid.
With its mammoth population, massive potential, and amazing stores of resources, within your lifetime, Africa will become an economic superpower.
This kid has I love him because
He's an idiot.
he has so much hope in his voice, but he
Is
has
that
been
hope? I would say that's more of like, what would you say, like gay in his voice?
well, I think he's British, right?
Yes, Sam, he is British, yes.
He sounds like he's asking for porridge, right? Do you have some porridge?
I would love some lovely porridge, actually.
Okay, can I have
maybe
some
some
porridge?
tea as well?
Yeah.
Some hot tea?
So
no
this
sugar,
kid,
of course.
Oh, by the way, does
I'm
he have
sweet
2
enough.
different colored eyes?
I'm sweet enough already.
Like he's not weird enough. Now he's got 2 different eye colors.
Don't make fun of my appearance, sir.
So-
oh, my God. How ghastly.
I love
How
this
gauche
kid.
to make
God
fun of my
bless
parents.
him. Hope he does well in life. I love his wholesome belief in humanity.
My
But
Tinder profile already has my TED Talk listed.
now, what you don't understand, young man of questionable sexuality, okay,
How dare you?
okay, is like your
You barbarian.
accent,
You
your,
fiend.
your accent,
villain.
is why that
Yeah, really.
isn't going to happen. The Bank of England will never allow that to happen. The bank, the U.S. Central Bank won't let that happen.
Africa pays off all its debts within
Yeah.
a year. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane, and he totally should be right. They should be flourishing.
They have unlimited economic resources. How could you say that?
Freaking Harry Potter over here.
I
All right.
resent that accusation.
That's it.
Oh my God.
That's it.
Did you have any other fun with stupid? Let's see. Yeah, this is fun with stupid. Did you send me this too? Because this is just stupid.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes.
So, this is a tweet from someone called Amuse. Great name, by the way. I'm glad you got that. Amuse. It's just Amuse. It's at Amuse. Sabotage
Remember when someone on the International Space Station drilled a hole in the station? Ever wonder what happened? The Russians blamed NASA astronaut Serena Aunon Chancellor, claiming she was trying to get sent home early after her relationship ended and her health was declining. When her request was denied, Russia claims she sabotaged the station. NASA stands behind her, but prevented Russia from investigating further.
I mean,
I never heard that story. No.
But by the way, do you think that has anything to do with 70 cents on the dollar?
Yeah. Or maybe why Hillary wasn't elected president, because maybe people were thinking she had a bad week and launched the nukes,
Yeah, I mean,
like Bill cheated on me again.
By the way,
nukes.
look at her with her slightly cross-eyed, which I normally love. But I mean, like, dude, this is the first time we've seen a female astronaut go nuts driving around in a diaper. Like you remember that story?
No,
she didn't want us to have to stop to go to the bathroom, so she wore a diaper, so she just
and drove like cross country to go kill people or whatever.
Yeah, so she had a diaper. So yeah.
Well, and then there was another story this week about an astronaut. Let's see. She dropped a tool bag out that you can now see with binoculars, apparently.
Well, our last story tonight comes to you from space. An astronaut doing some spaceship maintenance fumbled the bag, quite literally.
Yeah, this is going to be costly because it wasn't just any bag. It was a tool bag that's estimated to be worth about $100,000. The bag is now floating freely in Earth's orbit. The bag is apparently bright enough for keen observers to spot from the ground.
Oh, I love that. Keen
the astronaut
observers.
Is have some
Where is it?
You can see it with binoculars.
Control.
Have you done that?
AirPods or something.
Air tags.
Air tags on it.
Let's see if anybody spotted.
They can try to track it and get it back.
My question is it going to like burn up or is it going to fall? Like, I'm just so concerned.
Yes,
well, that might be our top story tomorrow night. You'll just have to tune in. You'll have a good one.
See you tomorrow.
Let's see if anybody spotted this easily. Well, there's one thing here that they say this person is claiming this is the tool bag. Yeah, this guy's saying that's what it is. There's the ISS and there's the tool bag. Not sure I believe it though. I could be anything.
I mean, it's just
Looks like bird shit
stupid.
or
Everybody's dumb.
All right, and then another fun was dude you sent me. This is Vivek having a funny little moment here in a Twitter space with 100,000 plus people.
Dude, I love this.
Decide not to have children. That's all I'm saying. And Elon Musk is promoting an optimistic, pro-human future that the science and evidence shows is real and that we need.
Gentlemen, I have to go.
Yeah, I just want to be sort of exactly. I want to be clear about my position. I'm super pro-human, and I mean all humans. Humans in America.
I can just say, okay, so you can see who's talking, whoever's making sound on Twitter Spaces because it has a little like waveform icon next to them, and Vivek's like it's clear this is him the whole time because he's the only other one with the sound thing going.
I mean, like,
and
somebody's got their thing open
and everywhere else.
Got their phone open in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's Vivek. Vivek, that's your phone, Vivek. I'm not able to mute you. Vivek.
Oh, he muted it right there.
Perfect. Go ahead, Elon.
Sorry about that. So, well, I hope you feel better.
I feel great. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys.
Good for Dave Smith for getting in that group. Like, how crazy is that?
Elon's very culturally hip too. I bet that was him partly. That like.
I mean, Dave Smith goes, Legion Skanks, who a very powerful dojo, and for him to be like in there with all these people,
we should get him back on tinfoil. He was a great guest.
I love him.
And now a highlight from Cash Daddies.
The one that I love, I mean, I always talk about it because it's just skied and it hasn't gone back. Chain link, but most of these, especially these shit altcoins, they just keep dropping to getting closer to zero every day. I mean, they really do. Look at some of these. What's SHIB done?
Hey, dude, it's up a little bit. It's gone up a little bit. I'm very excited about it.
Holy Christ. I can't even tell it's got so many zeros in front of it.
Yeah, dude, stop being rude.
Yeah, I finally sold mine. I had to liquidate it because it was one of the few things I left on Coinbase, and I just I left it there.
Yeah, it's up a little. Now it's back down a little bit, but it was up a little bit.
Yeah, it's worth one SHIB is worth 0.000009299.
Yeah.
That's very tough to get serious about.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It really is.
that's a
It
good way to
really
put that,
is.
Howie.
It's
It
very
really
tough.
is, buddy. It's very hard.
At
Like
its
when I
peak,
think
at its
shit.
peak, that was only 4 zeros. You should know, so it's gone down significantly.
Okay, Johnny. You act like you're winning. You're winning nothing.
Well, no, I'm not winning. I mean, I could have sold with thousands of dollars in SHIB, and now it's worth $200.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
lesson learned. Lesson learned.
in the old country, they would call SHIB. That's what we would call a piece of shit. In the old country, that's pretty much what we would call that. When I think of SHIB or Shibuino, I get the that's like when your freshman kid comes home from college and sits you down and says, "Dad, I have an investment. It's going to change your life. It's going to make so many millions of dollars in wealth for this family." And then he pulls it out, and there's 9 zeros in front of it. And and he tells you if you buy 6,000 of these, that'll make a penny. And that's where you lose them. You lose them right there, and that's when you wonder. You dig down deep, and you wonder, how did he get into college? I don't think he can read. Why am I?
That's a big issue right now, John.
Why am I listening? To
the kids are retarded. They made the kids dumb.
Kids are getting dumber. It's not a bad
well,
thing.
I push back on that, even though that was my point right there. But I do believe that the kids are just getting saturated with more useless knowledge.
Well, yeah. If you're a kid and you're 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever, and you're spending, let's start with 15, 30 minutes a day on TikTok.
On TikTok. You could not say that like
Twitter.
An older man.
If you are spending time on there, well, your IQ's already 20, 30 points in the hole. And you up that time level to 30 minutes, an hour, and you're becoming fully the R word. There's no doubt about it.
You mean retard?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to you?
I didn't know we could say that on here.
Yeah, we do go on YouTube. They don't love the retard word.
Do you see Nikki Haley's like, if you watch 30 minutes of TikTok, you are literally Hitler.
Hitler?
Yeah, they say that if you watch, she goes, if you watch 30 minutes of TikTok, you become like 30% more anti-Semitic. And I was like, if you watch 2.5 hours of TikTok, you are literally Hitler. That's how anti-Semitic.
Oh, so I see you extrapolated that out to 2 hours, and then
Here's the thing with that TikTok is a guy that used to live with a Jewish woman, now living with a terrorist. That's two different separate.
Do you think you overcompensated? Like you're just like never forget, never again.
No,
and with the other way.
I just think I never noticed, man. It's like I'm one of those, it's all pink on the inside kind of guys.
Oh, nice. Good.
You don't really notice.
This is a family show, guys. Come on.
This is a family show, dude.
Well, that's
don't talk about tuna.
Talk about when you're ordering steaks. What's wrong with you guys, man? That's they ask you that when you're in a steakhouse.
I would love to know who invented two in the pink, one in the stink.
Oh,
like when he came
up
with
get to the shocker now.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so big when I was in school, man.
Oh yeah, everyone loved a shocker.
Well, you know who invented that? Somebody from Cortland. Somebody with just a real basic, low-level mind of simple.
I love that, bro.
They came up with that one during a study hall.
I love that.
Something we've been talking about for a long time is how annoying it is that these delivery services ask you to offer tip before you actually have received any service. So here's some news on that front. DoorDash and similar food delivery services are changing their tipping policy following the New York City government's decision to increase minimum wage for app workers. DoorDash and Uber Eats will hold back their tip prompts until food is delivered, no longer offering tips as an optional incentive to entice faster delivery. Here's a quote. As we have repeatedly made clear in recent months, the ill-conceived extreme minimum wage pay rate for food delivery workers in New York will have significant consequences for everyone who uses our platform. This is one change I can get behind. I think it's ridiculous to tip somebody before they've done anything at all.
I agree.
Yeah, but the way that software set up, like if I order a pizza down the street from Bleecker Street Pizza, I fill it out, I put in the tip, because the dude's delivering it, and it saves me. I don't have to pull out $5 and give it to him. It's already in. I like it.
No, but you would never. It's not like you would ever have to pull out $5 and give it to him. It would just ask you after. It'll be like, now what's your tip once it's delivered, and when you give your rating.
Yeah, that's what I think you should do.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you're not actually handling money ever. It would just be at the end when you rate the guy when the food gets delivered, assumingly on. I would assume on time. If it's not on time, then
Yeah, and then you should be
not
able
as
to
much.
go back and change your order. I mean, change your tip if it's
Which you can
crap.
always do that, but they made it like a pain. It was so you had to get like in the 3 different menus to change your tip or whatever. And yeah. Anyway,
crazy.
That's big news. That's consequence of the minimum wage, and those app companies play hardball, dude. They have from the beginning. Those delivery app companies, they don't fuck around.
DoorDash, all those companies basically, Airbnb, DoorDash, Uber. I mean, yeah, there's a reason they're cranking. There's a reason.
So this is interesting.
Doing
So
well.
me, Dana, and the kids go to this restaurant to eat, right? And it's kind of like it's like I don't know. It's like it's an event, right? It's like, and they got food out, and you can eat as much as you want. You're paying for like, you pay like, it's like, let's say $30 a plate, right? Everybody, you can eat as much as you want. So, and then they put the tip in there, right? So because it's the holidays, Dana decides to throw extra tip on top of it, cash to the waitress. So she hands the waitress X number of dollars, and the waitress goes, "Thank you so much. You don't even understand. We don't get any of those tips. They keep the gratuity that is added to your bill."
No.
What kind of place? Say what that place was.
I'm not.
That's gotta be against the law.
Come on,
That's
dude.
That's
I'm
theft.
not. I'm not.
That's
I'm
like
sorry.
theft.
Why not? Why wouldn't you put a place like that on blast?
Because I'll tell you later.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind. Tinfoil hat.